So hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Saadiq. Hello, one who cares, and William Graves. How are you doing this evening? It is the Demetra K Show where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are a great people, but we can always strive to do better. Also, like to say a big giant thank you to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, the other side of the conversation. And in fact, I have pinned the link on Facebook and on YouTube for those who want to come join the conversation live. When I give you the prompt, I would love for you to do that. Today's topic is, why do modern men want traditional women? Well, I've been asking that question for the last 2 weeks or so, and I've had a few people say, what's a modern man? Like, oh, is there such a thing? Well, I think there's such a thing, and I'll explain that to you in just a few. Who else came on here? Brother Reggie, how are you doing? And Arif, what's going on? And so, yes, we're going to get into that. And of course, other topics, anything that you guys want to talk about. And let's see who else came in. It says, Brother Reggie says, when you enter the chat, yes, hit the like button, please. And thank you, Donovan.
Hey, you guys, welcome. When it's Sunday, you know it's Demetra K on this rainy, pouring Southern California day, flooding, all kinds of things, flash flood warnings, all kinds of stuff going on. California people, Southern California people cannot drive in this type of weather. But do us a favor, just like my man Reggie just said, hit that like button on your way in. And if you forgot to hit it on your way in, hit it on your way out. It's absolutely free. Then also, it also takes time to make a video. If you guys so do like, we don't mind the kind of donations that roll, but we prefer the kind that folds. And if you would like, please hit us up at PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, P.O. Box. You want to write a check, you can do that. Demetra takes checks and all that other good stuff. It helps the show go a little bit longer. This is going to be a great topic that we're going to talk about. And I'm kind of glad that we talk about these discussions, because I was out celebrating a birthday last night, and I was talking to some young ladies at this nice little jazz club we found in Rialto, California. I'd been there before years ago, but $20 to get in, $20 just to get in the damn door. But anyway, we went there, had this great discussion. And what I was telling the ladies is this, you know, when I was asking certain questions, they didn't know this was going on or that was going on. So discussions like this actually helps spread the word and get people thinking in a different mind state, something that they never think about. You can't formulate an opinion if you don't know what the subject is, or if you never even thought about the subject. So this is going to be a great topic. Let's get into it and see where we go, because I am not a modern man. I am a traditional man. Let's do it.
Well, we gonna see, Brother Donovan. Hello, Marcus. Thank you so much for sharing the link. I love it. Appreciate you all. If you are on Facebook and you see this and you want to join in on the conversation and even live, please click the link when I ask you to do so that you can come on and express yourself. I know that you all will be respectful, so I don't need to get into that. Let's see who else came on here before I get into what I have to say. And CG, how are you doing? And Reginald, how are you? Moni, you said, uh-oh, she got lipstick. My girl looking like $1 million. Happy blessed New Year's. Thanks. I'm sorry. There's my sexy brown sugar Donovan and Boo Bear. Much Detroit love. Ow. Anita, how you doing? Says, greetings, Demetra, Donovan, and Chad. I can't wait to hear this conversation, and I cannot wait to have it. And all right, Moni, I see your comments. And Brother Vaughn, how are you doing? Walaikum salam to you as well. And Jan Michael, how you doing? Says, hey, now, my apologies. Why? And more importantly, who coined the term modern women, modern man? I say know the source, and you'll know the objective. I like that. All right. Who else? Detroit man, what's going on? And Rain Love. So we'll go ahead and get into it for the sake of time. I'm sure more people will come on. So the topic is, why do modern men want traditional women? Well, as I said, some people are like, what on earth is a modern man? Well, to me, a modern man is the opposite of a traditional man. Well, what is that? Well, I took the liberty to go to good old Google to see if I can kind of give a little bit of insight and learn something myself. Who else came on here? Wendell, how you doing? Thank you so much. Love and appreciate you for that. So Go through this rather quickly. What is a modern man? I went to the internet and it says also called modern man, a member of any of the living races of Homo sapiens, characterized by erect bipedal posture, a highly developed brain, and powers of articulate speech, abstract reasoning, and imagination. Okay, I think we can agree on that. We've heard that term before, right? And it doesn't just mean a male, it also means females. Okay, moving right along. What is the role of a modern man? Now, again, this is stuff that I Googled. It says the modern man is many things. They are bankers, teachers, construction workers, and even ballet dancers. Historically, the role of man and woman was clearly defined. However, those antiquated roles are fading, and a new era of what is normal is being defined. All right, moving right along. What are the characteristics of a modern man? The top qualities of a modern man include being affectionate, doing their fair share of cleaning, and being a vegan. I thought that was kind of weird, but okay. That came from a study from Wilkinson Sword. And I guess they also said that they're environmentally aware, taking pride in their appearance, and standing up for a cause. That is the modern man. Woohoo! So they say, all right. A modern woman, because we've heard that term a lot, right? A modern woman, a modern woman. Oh, there's some modern women. So I went to the dictionary on Google. It says a modern woman is anyone who is living in the now, who questions, who asks, who challenges, who stands up for her rights and for others. Then it says here an example. I think it's just as important to say no as what you say yes to. Okay, that's a modern woman per what I found. Then let's get into these last two definitions. What is a traditional male role? Traditional gender roles view the man as procreator, a protector, and a provider, and the woman as pretty and polite, but not too aggressive, not too outspoken, and not too smart. Media aids in society conforming to these traditional gender views. And then last, I kind of went and found a more defined definition of a traditional woman. It says a trade wife, short for traditional wife or a traditional housewife, denotes a woman who prefers to take a traditional role in marriage, including beliefs that a woman does not lose anything by choosing to stay at home, and by doing so can support their family needs better. The term is a neologism, which is kind of a term that's redefined or new, or something that was kind of old and kind of redefined. So like we've been hearing the modern woman as if it's a bad thing, right? So, all right, let me take this off. So my question is this: why does a modern man want something that they are not? Now, let me define a modern man, because oftentimes we hear a lot of the men, and I won't say who, but a lot of men say, I want a traditional woman. Well, what I kind of told to y'all right there in the definitions, a traditional woman, she stays at home and she takes care of the children. She takes care of all the household needs and she takes care of her man. But more importantly, I guess not maybe more importantly, but one of the things is she does not work. Her job is in the home. Her job is to take care of everything in the home. That is a traditional woman. But a lot of modern men that say they want a traditional woman actually want that traditional woman to bring in, as y'all saw on my thumbnail that I made. Did y'all like that? They want her to bring in half. Where's half of your rent? Where's half of the light bills, the gas bill, the food money, and all this other stuff? Which means if she is bringing in half of the resources, she's also out there doing what? She is working. So when I hear traditional woman, I hear that she's expected to work, bring in half of the money to take care of the house, in addition to cooking, cleaning, taking care of the children, taking care of her man, and whatever else that may mean, right? And so, again, a modern man is the opposite of a traditional man. Again, he wants her to take care of half while he gets all, if that makes any sense. So the other thing is, why don't we ever talk about modern men? They exist, Some people take offense to that term. And I would say some men take offense to that. And, well, what is that? That's not real. Well, if there's a modern woman who, burns a bra and hear me roar and I ain't doing nothing no man say do. I earn all my money. Well, doesn't a modern man exist in that he wants something he is not? He does not want to do all the providing and protecting and all of that. I don't know. Am I off? Am I making up something? Am I reaching? Donovan, what say you? And then we'll get into the comment section, and then I'll let y'all know when we're going to open up the link for y'all to click on and give your opinion.
Well, I'm not going to say too much on this topic because it's pretty self-explanatory in it itself. I don't necessarily agree with those definitions, but if that's what the Boule and the so-called experts are saying, how they define it, and this is part of the problem within the community. You've got these Eric Michael Dysons and all these Negroes that get paid by the oppressor, telling us what is we're intellectuals. They're messing up the whole aspect by bringing in all this BS that really doesn't need to be there. Unfortunately, ladies, I know you guys aren't going to agree with me because most of you guys don't. We live in a patriarchal society. It's been like that since God set it up. Most countries in the world, I have yet to find a country that is matriarchal. Most countries are patriarchal. So that's the society that we live in. Now, people want to go up against that. You ladies want to go up against that? That's fine. You modern women want to go up against that? That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But I guarantee you, when the shit hits the fan and it has to come up between being a patriarchal society and a matriarchal society, you're going to lose. So, I don't really have much to say. I think it's more important that we hear from the co-hosts who have a better agenda of saying what they think is the difference.
Absolutely. So I'm going to read some of these comments and then I'm going to open it up. Who is it? Where did he go? Black America. Oh, you say I'm off? Okay, well, we're going to see. And Brother Vaughn, he says, men are truly looking for a woman to bring him peace. Most responsible men will cover the majority of the bills. In truth, everyone plays their part. 50-50 isn't realistic. I agree with that. As I tell you guys all the time, I was born into the Nation of Islam. My mom did not work. My mom did not work, or she was a stay-at-home mom, I should say, until I was 18 years old. And so I saw what that was like to have a father go to work, earn all the money while my mom was a homemaker and raise my siblings and I. So I agree with you in that 50-50 isn't realistic because somebody is going to give more than 50%, right? Like, how do you even measure that? So I totally agree with you. Let's see here. Moni, you say dollars vending mini clubs here. Michigan, you can be paying 40 to 70. Oh, you're talking about what Donovan said. So y'all talking about the club that he went to. Hello, Miss Pamela Roach. How are you doing? And Rain says today's women are the breadwinner, provider, and protector. Ooh. Richie, how are you? Says tradition is the greatest sin. The true definition of, and I think your comment cut off. I'll see if you put it back in there. And Miss White, how are you doing? And Brother Vine says a woman can have her career, but don't forget to bring her feminine side home. Oh, I like that. Masculine traits is unattractive to a traditional man. And I want to ask y'all, if y'all can, or maybe I'll wait to open up the lines and y'all can tell me what you deem to be a masculine woman. So I'm finished reading these comments and then I'm going to open up so you guys can click the link and come on. We won't take too long. We'll get right into it. And let's see here. Jan Michael says, thank you so much, Miss K, for the definition. Now excuse while I take a seat alongside Mr. Donovan and smile. Now, y'all want y'all to be active in this conversation. Gilvetta, how are you doing? Says, good evening, Demetra K, Donovan, and Black First Family. Yes, indeed. And Joanne, how are you? He says, the blank will hit the fan if you're not a godly man. That blade swings both ways. Okay. Maybe you can come on and explain that to us. And Sister Kiki, how are you? He says, I don't understand why this is a topic in the Black community. It is very white supremacistic ideology. Black people in the majority, not all, have been able to be traditional. I have a video on my page from 1968 about this. Black women have always had to work to help ends meet. Are we forgetting that Black women had to go to work or be incarcerated and there was nothing that their husbands could do about it?
Yeah, real quick, I saw that video on Kiki's thing. It seems to me that modern people, male and female, keep forgetting that the system has been oppressed, especially against the black man. Thus, the woman always had to help out. The black woman had to help out the black man because even to this very day, we are still mass incarcerated. 70% of all jails are filled with black people. Let's just say majority black men, but we're only 14% of the population. 40% of the homeless population in the United States is black. So the system is against us to begin with. So as black people who left chattel slavery, we've always had to have a woman, and not in all cases, but in the majority of the cases, always help because the system is designed against specifically black men and black people in general. But black men, number one, is the number one threat. That's why it is what it is. And we've all known it.
Yeah, I mean, I think of course, there's systemic, and the link is open, y'all. If y'all want to click on and give your opinion on here on the live, and Joanne says most traditional men are the most abusive. Ooh. So yeah, we know that institutional and systemic racism does exist, and it does hinder us from doing certain things. But I think about somebody like my father, as I said, was in the Nation of Islam since he was 19 years old. He worked for himself most of his life, had a very successful auto mechanic business. My mom did not work. My mom was educated. She had her nursing degree. Both my parents, and while I wait for somebody to come on here, my father had a full ride football scholarship to Pepperdine University, but he turned it down to study under the Nation of Islam because he said, I knew that I was not going to learn about who I am or, and all of that at a white institution, Pepperdine University. So he gave that up to study under the Nation of Islam, and he said he would do it again. My mother also had a full ride scholarship to Clark Atlanta, but she moved to California to be with her mother, and she took up nursing. So I say all that to say, both of my parents, they weren't dummies at all, right? But my mom found value in being a traditional woman in the true sense. And my dad found value in keeping my mom out of the workforce and opening his own business. So I say all of that to say, during those times, I would imagine it was just as hard, not that far out of racism, if you will. Not out of racism like Jim Crow and segregation is what I meant, but he was able to do something. So I see somebody came on here. You have a question mark on your name, and so I'm assuming you'll give us your name. But before I let you guys on, of course, I just want to make sure that everybody just make sure you don't keep the cuss words if you can off or to a minimum. I'm not saying that y'all would, and you guys know it's social media, so there's some certain things we can and cannot say. And let's try to, when we see more people coming on here, limit our commentary so we can let as many people on here as possible. I also want to say, too, in the comment section, it's going to be kind of hard for me to pay attention to the comments and to the commentator, if you will. So I will do my best. All right, here we go. So let's see who this is. M, how are you?
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm sorry?
How are you doing today?
Salam alaikum.
What's happening? Walaikum salam. What's happening with you?
Yeah. So speaking, excuse me. So talking about traditional men, traditional women. So I understand that especially what your host on the right hand was saying, and I can tell he's very traditional. He wants a traditional woman to cook, to clean, to feed the kids, to take care of the man, and the definition of tradition has been modified in the last 50 years because it started by a white woman or the Karens. Because as you say, the main host uh, that um that white woman, they wanted power to equal to men when it came to pay, wealth, access, unlimited privilege, right? And 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 at the same time, you're right that the white Karens, even if they became independent, right, had careers, became like business leaders, despite the fact that they were being like white supremacists, racist towards other groups, because white women understand that to maintain white supremacy, they had to show that yeah, we're for women, but at the same time, they needed a man to maintain white supremacy, maintain separation. And so you're right. You're right that they needed a man at the same time. What your previous video showed not too long ago, even the white women were marching for feminism, women's rights, but they still returned home to do their gender duties. You know, cooking, cleaning, reading to their kids, taking care of the men. But I do say this that the tradition has changed in the last 50 years. I'm sure both of you grew up in the 1970s, 1980s due to deindustrialization. Before this deindustrialization happened, majority of men used to work in factories. So they were the breadwinners of the family. And it was not until maybe the late 70s, early 80s, regardless of political parties, they said to men, I'm sorry, we can't keep in factories because it costs too much money. Especially the black men, as your host on the right understands, right? Because they understand that black men become very united to unionize with white men of factories, and that's how the factory jobs have been outsourced and been lost. So therefore, a woman had to pick up the slack in very like taking like I know very uncomfortable for women to work outside the house. I mean, not all, but for excuse me, for some, because they understand that they can't always depend on men to work because men couldn't find stable jobs in the 70s, 80s, 90s. A woman had to take on service jobs, work as like cleaners, caregivers, secretaries, to
So,
if possible to supplement income, but basically to replace it. And that's how we became a society of
so
50 50.
let me ask you this, and I'm going to let somebody else on. What is your quick opinion about the term modern men?
My opinion, well, I would like to hear your host's opinion on modern men who's sitting next to you. D.
Donovan? Okay, so we're going to let him answer, but I'm going to let somebody else on. Mr. Question Mystery Man, thank you so much for coming on here. We're going to wait for somebody else to come on, so I'll move you back to the comment section, but thank you so much for your opinion.
So what was the question in general? I want to make sure I got the question exactly
He
right.
wants to know your opinion on the term modern man. Like, what do you think about that? Is that a thing? And the link is open, y'all, so if you want to come on and give your opinion, come on.
Okay,
and hello
yes.
to everybody who came on here. Sorry about that, Donovan.
Yeah, no, actually, I do believe that is actually a thing. I'm a traditional man growing up. We've had about two generations of young men now that have been raised in single family homes, primarily being raised by women, which is totally fine. It is what it is. We got to deal with what we're dealing with. And those young men now have taken on a more modern tradition with a little bit of feminist twist in it. And what I mean by that, not that it's a negative thing, what I'm saying is when there's no father in the picture sometimes, there's no ruggedness in a lot of these men. They take up what they're taught. So, women being more nurturing, more understanding, whatever you guys want to say it is, more softer, they've got that. So that's the modern man. It does exist. However, the problem with the modern man, making the modern man coming from that type of environment, he now has traits that says 50-50, 50-50. Real women aren't going to roll with the 50-50. But the funny thing is the same girls that were raised in that time slot still want the man to pay all the damn bills. So where's the modernization of the young girls that are caught up to these young men? The young men have been modernized while the women have been stagnant in their traditional way of wanting the man to pay everything, where you got these young men now that say, hey, there's nothing wrong with 50-50. Nothing wrong with it. So yeah, I do believe that it does exist.
Hello, Mr. Stanley. How are you today? You got it. Unmute your mic.
Oh, sorry
There you
about that.
go.
How's it going, family?
It's going well. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Been a long time watcher of the show, enjoying the topic.
Yes. So what's on your mind?
Like I said in the chat, man, woman, child. That's the Holy Trinity, in my opinion. As far as, all the religion and whatever, man, woman, child, that's the divine order. And anytime we try to step out of that or go around that or do anything different from that, it's not going to work. And the evidence is all around us. We've been trying to do it our way, and it's not working.
So when you say man, woman, child, can you define that a little bit more? I think you said the Holy Trinity. I get that, but for somebody who may not know what that is, what does it mean to be man, woman, and child? What are those roles? What does that look like?
It's a hierarchy.
Okay.
It's a hierarchy. I mean, there is no equality in that sense. I mean, take the Bible out of it for the people that's not religious. It's still a hierarchy at the end of the day. I mean, we as men have to lay down our lives for everything that's under our authority. Point blank, period. There's no sugarcoating it or watering it down. 50-50, it's a conversation that misses me, because if you're in a relationship, the relationship should be 50-50 in terms of everybody should be pulling their weight equally. So if it's a situation where the man loses his job, if the woman is not able to step up and take care of it, then what's the purpose? And vice versa. Like, we should be able to take care of each other. That's what a partnership and a relationship is. And I'm just glad and I'm grateful that I have somebody who understands that, because 50-50 that's just a talking point. In reality, if a person pays all the bills and that other person leaves, what is the 50-50 conversation? That's something that, like you said, white supremacy and all that put into our brain. I used to watch films, just real short. I used to watch films, African people wearing the baskets, walking miles and miles. They do that for their family. Mm-hmm. You think they worried about what the neighbor was saying or what such and such Sally down the street was saying about them? Like, we need to get out of this whole matrix that we're in. All this materialistic BS, this gender war against each other. Like, why are we doing this? Where is it getting us? At the end of the day, where is it getting us? And the reason why I said man, woman, children, because it takes a man to be with a woman to make a child. So if we don't do that, we're not going to repopulate. The question I asked for all the LGBT folks, if your parents were LGBT, you probably wouldn't be here.
That is true. That is very true. Did you freeze? Oh, there you go. I thought you freeze up. Yeah, that is absolutely true. Let the redeemed say so. How you doing? Thank you so much. So let me ask you one. And again, you guys, if y'all want to come on here, click the link. It is pinned, I believe, on Facebook and definitely on YouTube. And Kiki, I'm going to get to your question in just a minute. So let me play devil's advocate here. Roots Tracker, how you doing? And one who cares. So let's say this is hierarchy, right? But the woman is, I guess, carrying most of the weight. Let's talk about, as far as bills or whatever. Does that hierarchy still exist?
It should.
Do tell.
Because
I'm not saying there's, I'm not, giving my opinion. I'm just asking a question.
No, that's fine. Because actually, my wife helped me understand that, because I left a salary job to step out on faith and do my own independent things, which actually today my movie is available on Amazon Prime, The Son of a Preacher Man film. Really? But anyway, so she was handling the bills while I was out doing that type of stuff. That wasn't a passion of mine or anything like that. But in building something, and like she told me, this is the building process. Sometimes I may have to take on the bills or whatever like that. And in all honesty, as a man, if something was to happen to me, I would want my woman to be able to take care of whatever situation we've built up together. So I was in that situation where she took care of everything. And, I did, my jobs and my projects and things like that. And there's times where I worked all the time, 2 and 3 jobs, while she took care of our kids or she was pregnant with our child. So it's no tit for tat. It's no, well, I did this for you and you, but I'm looking at social media today and nobody's willing to do anything for anybody.
So
everybody is selfish.
So basically, too, with that hierarchy, you still, as the man, are the head of the household, even though she is bringing in the money now, right?
Yeah. No, even though she's bringing in the money, no, that doesn't change me as being a man. That doesn't change me as my role, as I have to help out in the household, whether I was making all the money or not. Like the roles are still the same. The hierarchy is still in place.
Absolutely. And Gilvetta agrees with you. And JJ says, congratulations on your movie. I do want to check that out.
Appreciate y'all.
And I totally agree with you. Money does not denote whether the hierarchy exists or not. If the woman is making the most money or money at the time and he is not, he is still the head of the home, and his authority, and I know some people are going to say authority, but his authority should not be usurped. He is still at the helm of the family and the household. So I totally agree with you. I think, unfortunately, a lot of men and women, they get that wrong. Well, I'm making the most money because, most notably, we heard comedian Monique, and you guys, if y'all want to click the link and be heard, come on. And Kiki, I'm going to get back to your question. Most notably, we heard Monique, the comedian, she talked about that in her last marriages. She said that because she made the most money, that and she said it kind of dirty, but I'm gonna clean it up. She was like, I was the man in the in the relationship. He couldn't tell me what to do because I made the most money, and I was just the man of the house per se. She said until she got with her husband now, and he was like, wait. I don't care how much money you make. I'm always gonna be the man in the household.
Still the man.
Yeah, I'm always gonna be in charge. And if you can't deal with that, then you need to continue getting with a man that's gonna allow you to be all that. So
can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
And the reason why that is because the moment that you lose respect for a man, you will never get it back. Simple as that. So if you take a step back and in your heart of hearts you're doing it because you don't respect this man, then that's one thing. But if you understand what the vision is, that's a totally different thing. But if you have somebody that don't understand your vision, you don't need to be with them. And we, as men, we do waste a lot of time with women that don't mean us no good because they are beautiful. And we need to get over that. There's beautiful women that will have our backs and that will snap us out of that reality.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't give up. I found one here in America. I'm not a passport bro. I have found one in Augusta, Georgia. So there are good women out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in Georgia. That's for doggone sure. You can find them. You just got to look harder, brothers. You got to look harder. They're here.
Yep, 14 years and counting. And I appreciate y'all. We listen to y'all conversation and we love the discussions.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to your movie, and tell your wife hello from all of us.
I most certainly will. Much. All right, thank you.
All right,
be one.
Bye-bye.
There we go. There was a little reasoning there and stuff like that. I like that. That's very good. Good answer. That was very good.
All right. So while I'm waiting for somebody else to get on here, I'm gonna go back to Kiki's question.
Yeah, and real quick, you guys, do us a favor. Stanley White just came on there. He has a movie called Son of Preacher Man. It's on Amazon Prime. Support the brothers thing and check out the movie. Like I said, I'm going to check it out because it just piqued my interest. I want to see what this movie's about and what message he's trying to put out there. So let's support, and then maybe we could critique it once we review it. So you guys, check it out if you guys get a chance.
Absolutely. All right, Kiki says, I have a question. What systemic, economical, or institutional construct did the feminist movement dismantle for Black men? Brothers seem so passionate about the feminist movement, yet from what I've studied, it was about dismantling white supremacists and the power of white men. So why are brothers so pressed about it, Donovan?
I'm going to answer that real quick. And I love Kiki because she makes you think. It's not about a right or wrong answer. The problem with the feminist movement, she's absolutely right. It was an agenda to free the white woman from the power of the white man. The white woman basically said this: I want to go out there and make just as much money as I can to bring back to our family, Mr. White Man, Mr. George. I want to help bring more money into the family, but you won't let me because you told me to be in the house by 5 o'clock with that shepherd pie. That's what that agenda was about. It was about to free the white woman from the oppression and the power of the white man. But she wasn't leaving her white man. She never said that. She wanted to go out and work to bring money back into the family just as much as that white man. The difference is this: our sisters took that message to mean leave your man, leave your family. That's the difference. And it just got blown out of proportion. This feminist movement within the Black community today is totally, it's almost like a virus that's got out of the cup, and it's been distorted. That is not what the feminist movement was about. The feminist movement was about bringing equity into the workforce if a woman did have to go out and work in society and wants to make the same money and all that other stuff. But in our community, somehow it got defined as you don't need no man. And that's the problem within our community.
All right. So there is Donovan's answer, and I won't answer because she wanted to know from the brother's point of view. Again, you guys want to click on the link. And Spicy Peach, I'm not ignoring you all. I did say, while somebody is on, I want to kind of pay attention to what they're saying. But I am, eyeballing the comments. So when no one is on, I will definitely read the comments. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm ignoring you. I am not. And, I'm sorry that if it came out that I did, my apologies. So let's see here. How you doing, Mama Deb? And C. Ruffin, what's going on with you? Says, when sisters make more, they are not trying to confirm. Confirm what? And Gavetta says, the problem is everyone is trying to find that it woman based on social media preferences. I have to agree with her. And I think it's probably true. Probably for women as well. I don't know. But yeah, you more so see it a lot with men with the Instagram baddies or, whatever, the women that are knifed up, they get wifed up. I don't know. I just made that up. I'm just talking really. But yeah, I think that deserves a discussion. And Spicy Peach says, it's weird how they, oh no, okay, so I read that, I addressed that. And William say perfect. And you also say Spicy Peach says, no, it wasn't. Some of the globalist elites realize they can profit from causing division. They just happen to be, because your typing is a little bit off. Happen to be women that are doing it. Okay. Mama Deb says, facts, we just caught up in it. Yeah, I mean, that's really what the feminism movement is about. It was always, Black women have always been like a body count to the feminist movement. Come on, Black woman, help us get what we want. And the case in point is even nowadays, when Black women are harmed or wrong, you never see the white feminists, even now the organization that has, I think, if I believe, Tamika Mallory is a Black woman. She's like at the helm of the women's movement, and you rarely hear them come to the bat or defense of Black women who are being done wrong. So they still don't care about Black women. Let's see here. William, you say grow some good. Says grow some good is a share husband and wife. Maybe I read that wrong. And Kiki says, okay. Brother Arson, how you doing? Long time no see. He says exactly. The sisters took it and ran with it way beyond what the objective of the movement was. Basically, it separated the Black families. Yeah, but y'all got to also remember the feminist movement separated the Black family to some degree, but were we separate when we came over here to America? When we were brought over here, not like we came with our suitcases, right? But when we were brought over here to America, were we together? Or was this giant effort to separate us in every way, shape, or form? Physically, mentally, spiritually, we were separated.
Economically.
Everywhere you can think of, we were separated. So that's why I get where Kiki is going with the feminist movement harming the Black man. I get it had a little bit of harm, but more so than anything, we were already harmed before the feminist movement took off. You also got to remember, during the first women's movement, the suffrage movement, those women use black men, white women, as their talking points of, well, they can vote, but we can't. It's not fair that the black man can vote, but white women can't vote. So that's, how that first movement jumped off. And they, did not want to be regarded as property. And they also wanted to own property, right? So black man was used by white women, but we rarely hear, and, I'm just throwing out there, the black man reference the suffrage movement, which is why I say we need to learn our history. As they say in the nation, study history. So that way you'll have a little bit more knowledge other than just regurgitating something you saw off the internet, right? And William says, why wife complains? So you're saying, why does the wife complain? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it says also husbands upset or stressed. Maybe if you can kind of fill that out a little bit more, I can kind of get the gist of what you're saying. And Joanne says, that's not true, Donovan. The white man got you out the house, so he marginalized black men. I mean, that's actually a pretty good way of looking at it, because a lot of times we hear the argument from some black men that the sister took the welfare check over her family, but it's like, well, who gave her the welfare check? I mean, that's a really profound statement if you really think about it. Thank you for that, Joanne.
Yeah, no, that's a profound statement. But the question was the feminist movement. We were talking about the feminist movement. That's a part, and I'm not disagreeing with her, of why there's a separation. But the feminist movement was a movement of white women to go out and work and get equitable pay so they could bring it back to their family. That's all that was about. Because again, right now in the modern age, 70% of white women are married, 70% of black women are not, for whatever reasons.
Maybe we need to find out, right? Spicy Peach, I kind of keep seeing your comments, and you say kids need dads, little girls need not to be molested by uncles. I have no argument with you on that one. I totally agree with you on that. And again, if you guys are on Facebook and you see this and you want me to see your comment, also I have pinned a link if you want to click on and join the conversation live. We'd love to hear from you. Click on the link. Thank you so much, Marcus, for providing that. And William, you say white men are black men. Why the truth is to wife who loves husband. Yeah, your comments are kind of, I don't understand them, so forgive me. Joanne says, because he thinks like you, Donovan, which God is not pleased. Only Pamela's way. How you doing? Oh, Black America, I see you. Give me 1 second. And I see, and Pamela, you say there was another police officer that got shot in the line of duty last week. Yes, I heard about that. And Brother Don, my moderator, if I have not said hello to you, hello. And I hopefully you saw my message where I said I got the lovely things that you sent me. I am going to set those up. I love and appreciate you for that. All right, Black America, I see you. Let me get down to the rest of these comments, and I'm gonna bring you up here. And William says, why not God's displeased wife gives up money and no love, tell what husband says. All right, and see reference says to adhere to brother's leadership. William says, how can parents support and to care, understand, and communicate? Oh, and Gavetta says, please keep in mind, if you do not see your comment, it is being held due to certain keywords, emoticons, etc. Thank you. Yes, that is true. So it's not me. I'm not taking the comments out at all. I have a moderator, but certain words, YouTube will not let go. So forgive me for that. And Let the Redeemed Say So says, I'm hearing women say, taking on a man is much like having a grown child, extra weight, extra headache. Spicy Peach said it's not about white or black. It's about teaching who stole the daddies and how they profited. I agree with you. Says black men had the right to vote before ladies did. That is true. The first women's movement. William says, I am also deaf. Why problem? Okay, gotcha. So now I understand maybe why it's a little choppy. So no, it's not a problem. I'm just trying to understand your comment because I want to give it the full response that it deserves. So forgive me for that. And Brother Reggie says, feminism is the devil. Well, damn. Kiki says the separation is still happening. Says social media is the modern day black exploitation era. They're making millions off of black division, chaos, and dysfunction. Let the Redeemed Say So says she wouldn't need a welfare if our men are being providers and leaders. What's a $200 check compared to a working man and his benefits that come with the job? Jay Bubba, how you doing? Says Michael Eric Dyson and Mark Lamont Hill is after the new black media. I saw that. And William says hearing and deaf relationships are good, but sometimes bad things unconditional or good things conditions. Okay. Daryl, what's going on with you? Says Title IX was a job, and I think your comment cut off. Spicy Pete says, y'all been watching the recent footage of cops of all colors abusing us peasants at traffic stops. Yep. And he says that man should be the daddy. Arson says, I'm sorry, I forgot to say hi to the both of you. It's been so long. I hope you two have been good. Yes, we've been great, and I hope the same for you. Congratulations on now having your watchers going live with you. Yay! Joanne says, well, that explains it. Good luck. All right, here we go. How you doing, Black America?
Good afternoon, or it's evening for you.
Yes. What's on your mind, brother?
All right. I just want to say that for the most part, men haven't changed. It's not really any modern men per se. It is a lot of men who are kind of fruity now, and that may be because of the single motherhood and the way that some of these guys are being raised. But for the most part, men are still the same. Men are still, working hard every day, killing each other, dying for their women and kids. Men are still the same.
Okay. So the same in that, can you fill that out a little bit more, like define, you said you're still working and killing each other. And so you're
Okay.
saying that there's no such thing as a modern man. Is that what you're saying? And
Yeah.
gender equality, I see you. I'm gonna bring you up in just a minute.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, uh, from Robin Hood, anybody in history that you may want to think about, men are still doing the exact same thing. The only difference is now every time somebody does something, it's on camera or they posting it on the internet.
Okay. So you're saying there's no modern man. Okay. Well, all right. Anything else, brother?
No.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Have a
Come
good
back
day.
again.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Gender equality, and I can't see your whole name, but how are you?
I'm doing okay. How you doing today?
We know who you are. Do me a favor, gender equality. Let's give someone else a chance to
Okay.
speak, and then toward the end, we'll bring you back on. How about that?
Oh yeah, I didn't want to be on. I was waiting to see if other members going to participate. I want to
Oh,
see.
they're participating. I can see them coming up here, but
Okay.
yeah, just come back on a little bit later at the toward the end of the show. We'd love to hear your opinion.
Okay.
All right, bye. You know what though? I love.
I like that.
Yeah, I love when people like to participate. That I
Mhm.
love it. But I want to give everybody else a chance to kind of speak their opinion. And Anais, how are you doing? Long time no see. All right, so let me get back into the comment section. Hello, Thunder. Can I ask y'all a question? Where is the Pioneer? Has anybody
Right.
seen the Pioneer in these YouTube streets? I sent him an email. He has not responded, so I'm hoping that he is okay. But it's been a very long time, so I'm just wondering if he's okay. If y'all seen him. All right, and Ebby, how are you doing? Okay, so William, you say religion, God is Jesus, or God is Son of Father. People get confused a lot. A prayer. So if I understand it right, they are the same, right? Just one is kind of manifested in the flesh, came to earth. But from what I understand, they're pretty much the same. If I understand your question right. And Spicy Peach, I'm gonna mute your mic. There you go. Spicy Peach, he says, feminist is fueled by globalist elite and their kickback to make money. And Pamela, he says, the feminist movement was a plan to infiltrate and divide the Black family. And some Black women thought the Gloria Steinem's and movement was on their side, but it was far from the truth. Yeah, as always, the feminist movement was that of white women. It's benefited white women. If you think about what they call really like the third wave of feminism, which was the Me Too movement, look what it did. It was a power grab for white women in Hollywood. That's what it was. It was to take down. I'm not saying some of those men in Hollywood did not deserve to be taken down, but in essence, it was a power grab for them, the Me Too movement, right? So it's always benefited white women. Always. It's never benefited anybody other than white women. Even the LGBTQ, or I guess the L in LGBTQ, they've even said that the feminist movement ignores them as well. So
And you got to think affirmative action, a program that was set up in the 1960s by LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, that was supposed to level the playing field for Black people to get certain jobs and getting certain positions. Nobody benefited from affirmative action more so than white women. Fact.
Let's address this, Joanne. Says the same as going from one baby mama to the next, then blame her for being a single mother, messing up their children, and did not support them. So I guess she's basically saying, well, as I always say, you can't have a single mother without an absentee father. There's a lot of onus being put on the single mama, but the dad is kind of sometimes being left out of the equation as if he's just some innocent bystander and it's all the woman's fault. So, I mean, that's a good point.
Well, what she was saying, me and her are in the chat right now, and I hadn't put a comment in that and I'm trying to find the comment, but if you look in the chat, I had said motherhood and fatherhood. I said, so are we glorifying single motherhood and fatherhood? I put both. She got triggered. I mean, in my opinion, it seems like, Joanne, you got triggered because I said both. I'm not just saying the women's are at fault. There's men that are at fault too. We've got a generation now that they're not taking their responsibilities. But right there in her comment, it seems like she stopped reading what was said. And I think that's a big problem when it comes to certain individuals. They only read or see what they want to see. Read the whole comment, and to me, your answer should have been different because it wasn't just the woman's fault. I never said that in the chat. If you look at my comment.
Well, how did Mr. Graves? He must have also misread your comment as well. What you said, because he says, "Why single mom is burden of supporting children without father?" So he's essentially asking the same thing.
Right. Well, I don't know what the support of children and fathers is. I don't know what that is. But if you go back,
basically saying why is the burden on the single mom?
I don't know because that wasn't the question. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They're taking something and going way left with it. It has nothing to do with support. My thing, if you look at my comment, I said both. We glorify single mother and fatherhood. That's what I said in my comment.
Yeah, so the comment must be coming up. I don't see it yet, but you must have addressed it after that. All right. Thunder. And again, y'all click the link if you want to come on here. Thunder, he says, question, we Black men are better than our grandfathers in Black women perspective, but are Black women better women than their grandmothers in Black men's perspective? Well, I cannot answer for that of Black men. I guess Donovan, a Black man, will have to answer that. I'll try my best to kind of chime in. Donovan, are Black women better than their grandmothers in your perspective as a Black man? You
mean today, the modern Black woman?
Yeah, I guess yeah.
No, absolutely not, because the modern Black woman is quick to leave. The laws make it quick to leave. Like a lot of women said in the chat, our grandmothers put up with a lot of shit back in their day. So no, the modern woman isn't like that. But I found the comment that I said, why are we having babies and not married? Nobody talks about that. We are okay with single mother fatherhood. That's exactly what I said.
Okay, yeah. So, and then Thunder, to the other part of your question, and hello, D, how you doing? It says, we Black men are better than our grandfathers in Black women's perspective. But so where are you getting that information from? And let me ask y'all this, as men, what's the litmus test to Black women not being as good as your grandmothers were? And, I'd imagine you've only heard stories of your grandmother. So how do you even know what type of woman your grandmother was? Like, how are we judging this, if you don't mind me asking, Thunder? What is the litmus test to that? Yeah, Brother Reggie, where in the hell is Pioneer? Let's see. Spicy Peachy says, who really thinks that Dominion and Smartmatic voting machine that they use in Central America are working? Just ask the 5 million illegals that risk their lives across our USA southern border. Okay. You also say to get away from those cheater machines. All right, so you're talking about voting. And Danielle, how you doing? He says, please keep the hope. There are still good men out there. Marriage is a partnership. You have to step in where the other is weak. Families are stronger together. I totally agree with you. that is a message that we actually need to keep promoting. That is true. Bed hopping around, it serves no good for anybody. Just hopping around from bed to bed is like, ugh, you know. Settle down to a good choice, as they say in the nation. William says, okay, he explained me the homes, everything shut down, nothing. Okay. They also say pastors talk in opinions. A lot of them nowadays do. Uh, Sometimes you go to churches like, do you even own a Bible, Mr. Bishop? You know what I mean? They're just kind of talking off their head. And Daryl, if I didn't already, how you doing? He says Title IX was a job bill for Black men, but women stole it from us. Okay, well, can you expound on that just a little bit? And Stanley says, Demetra and Donovan, Saadiq, is it cool to post a link to the film? Absolutely. Yes, please. And thank you. William says, why women stole man's soul, give up a hope. Okay. And Auntie Yo-Yo, what's going on with you? He says, I usually lurk and listen, but your hair is giving me life. Oh, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you for that. Thank you. Thank you. And Jason, how you doing? He says, amen, Donovan. And Don says, it's pinned at the top of the chat. Okay, so if you guys want to call in or click the link and ask a question, you may go ahead and do that. And Spicy Peach says, you can't tell someone, I think, what their answer should be. Okay. Dusty Otep, when you going to hit the link and come on in and give your opinion? It says, women don't comprehend, they interpret. Says who? Says who? I want you to come on here. Click the link. William says, why forgiveness, marriage, or parents try to best the idea, like to say. Okay. And Third Coast McQueen, how you doing? He says, absolutely. Kiki says, but it needs to be said that most Black women are not feminists. Most of us are very aware that the feminist movement wasn't about Black women. We addressed and accept that. Sisters having a voice can't be called feminist. I speak out a lot against foolishness on here, but I have very old-fashioned beliefs. I believe that God is the crown, a man is the head, a woman is the neck, and the family is the body. I totally agree with you that if a woman has some sort of an opinion and is outspoken, she must be a feminist. And it's like, well, not necessarily a feminist at all. I'm just, speaking my opinion on what I see. Also, I think too, unfortunately, women who are logical in their thinking and are critical thinkers, they get accused of being feminists because the contrary is a traditional woman is brainless, right? She has nothing of a value to add to anything. She's just a dimwit where she's okay. How many sandwiches do you want? So it's like there's a lot of traditional women who are smart. She'd have to be to run a household, right? You can't be a dummy running a household, and that includes the finances. So, yeah. Joanne says, the men today throw his own woman under the bus. Who are the men to become judge and never the supporter, not showing due diligence for humbling the woman they do, and was not triggered. So she said she wasn't triggered at all. And I didn't see it that way, but, I can't tell Donovan what to say. William says, Pastor said Jesus is Savior. No, he played people dangerous by devil. Oh, okay. Stanley says the divorce numbers are the litmus test, in my opinion, as far as women not being like their grandmothers. Is that the litmus test? So then if that's the litmus test, so that also, and I'm kind of trying to connect the dots, that also says that since women are not like their grandmothers, men are choosing not to marry Black women. Is that where we're going with that? Maybe I missed something in my calculation, but since the numbers don't lie in that there's some more single Black women than there are other women, because they're not like their grandmothers of yesterday, that's why Black men aren't marrying them. Because I guess the same argument can be made that Black men are not like their grandfathers or even like their fathers. I talk about my father all the time, and my mama did not work. My mom held the household down, and my dad, brought in the bacon and all that. He was a protector, a provider, and all of the above. Now, there's a lot of men who will never, ever. And in fact, I've never heard my dad once say that my woman needs to be bringing in some of the money. My dad is like, I'm a man's man. I'm bringing in all the money.
Yeah. But Demetra, again, we're talking a different generation. 2 generations has passed where that aspect is different because just like you, my mother was a housewife as well until she became a widow. So we're talking about a different generation. The modern thing now, and like I was saying in the trend, is we've glorified single mother fatherhood to where these kids now, or these younger adults now, are lacking because either the mother or the father wasn't in the home. So it's a different generation. So we're comparing apples and oranges.
Okay, but let me ask you this. How am I comparing? Y'all can click the link if y'all want to come on and be heard. How's it apples and oranges when it comes to the women, but it's not apples and oranges to the men? Because to say that there's 70%, and actually it's like 64% now of single black women, 64% of single black women, and I guess for the men is lower. Like, how is it apples and oranges for the women, but it's not for the men? Like, I guess maybe I'm confused. Like, why is it different, a litmus test for the women, but not the men? Because in that same vein, to say that black women are not like their grandmothers, wouldn't that also apply for black men not being like their grandfathers?
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, it's a different generation. Like I said, you can take the women from the modern woman is not putting up with any shit that their grandmothers put up. That's why the grandmothers were a lot tougher. They stuck it out, worked it out, whatever. It's a different generation. Same thing for the men. The men nowadays are a lot softer than it was when I was coming up, and then when my father was coming up. They're a lot softer. They lack the skills. And I'm not generalizing everybody, because we're not an absolute type thing. But we are comparing apples and oranges. It's like comparing the music of today to the music of the 60s. Totally different, totally different. It's an apples and orange thing.
I'll take your word for it. Facts now, Phyllis. How you doing? It says peace and love, family. I love traditional women. Men never. It says men never ever, I think you meant, marry a college educated woman. Don't do it. Why not? You want to marry something, and I'm not saying college women that are not college educated or not educated, but I don't understand why a man wouldn't marry a college educated woman. Would you want a silly woman? You want a woman who cannot have a well-rounded conversation with you? I mean, like, what is the deal with marrying a college woman?
Well, the funny thing is, most of your black, especially younger modern people that are getting married, in a greater proportion to the rest, are black people who met each other in college. They're marrying right out of college after she's got her degree and he's got his degree, and they're going to build together. Within our community, that's where a lot of the marriages are actually happening.
Yes, and good measure. He says, let's not get traditional woman confused with the stay-at-home moms. Well, I think a woman that does stay at home and provide for, that makes her more traditional than not. Yeah, there are definitely differences, but I would say that my mom was a traditional woman in every sense of the word. Stay at home, did not work, took care of the family, was submissive to my father. So yeah, she was submissive, and my mom was very soft and beautiful and feminine. So my mom was
the neighborhood mom. Everybody loved Demetria's mom.
That's right. And D says, yes, robotic. Yeah, it's like, that's kind of what I hear when I hear a lot of men, as I say, modern men of today say they want a traditional woman. It's like, I just think you want to glorify a robot. I really do. You know what I mean? And LS, how you doing? If I didn't already, he says, absolutely not, Demetria. Level-headed and logical are rare and appreciated. Rare and appreciated from who? Says it's rare, like from where? You
know, I think a lot of these modern men are in love with these movies they see where they see the traditional women doing for the man, and, you know, the Florida Evans type thing or whatever, right? But the question we have to ask ourselves, ladies, especially the ladies, is if they want a traditional woman, shouldn't you guys be entitled to a traditional man? Which means you bring home all of the bacon, not half the bacon, all of it, not half the loaf. You pay, you provide, you do everything you're supposed to do if you want a traditional woman. And I think that's another big difference. These modern women don't really understand what a traditional woman is in the aspect. You got young people now that are getting married and they don't understand the ramifications of what they're doing. If a husband means taking care of a wife in all aspects. This 50%, oh, well, where's your part? Remember I told you that story of a trooper that had his spouse talk about, they were arguing all the time, and it was because she didn't have her half of the rent. Even though he's being subsidized by the government, he still wanted her to have her half of the rent. I had to look at him like, aren't you a man? She doesn't have to have her half of the rent. That's your wife. So I believe modern women should take to task. There's nothing wrong with a man wanting a traditional woman. Fine. You want a traditional woman? Fine. I want a traditional man. And then see how the dynamics change when you ask for a traditional man.
Oh, yeah, we definitely going to start talking about these modern men out in these streets. And Stanley, you said the women are leaving no fault divorce. Why are they leaving, if you don't mind me asking? And let's see here. A good measure. So yes, a different generation. Let's see who else. You also say, Stanley, men aren't like their fathers, or maybe just like their fathers. Absent trades are what our grandparents had. Yep. Joanne says, how are you above this generation, Donovan? And TM1, how you doing? Says Black women can be traditional with college degrees. I mean, yeah, I was just wondering about that one myself. And Danielle, it says being submissive does not mean being a yes person. Being submissive means you are not making decisions on your own. Decisions are made within the household in order to benefit the household. Absolutely. I totally agree. Totally. And I think people have that submission thing on both sides wrong. Some women think, oh, you mean I'm just going to bow down to you? It's not. That's what it is. And some men think that's what it means. You do what I say. When I say jump, you say how high. It's like, no, I'll concede what you're saying because you're the head of the household. But I think it also deserves a conversation, on both sides so we can come to a decision. But ultimately, yeah, what you say will go. But yeah, let's have a conversation about it. It's not like I said what I said type of things. That's not fun. And Joanne says the men are lifted up in pride. And Thunder says, yeah, we are not like our grandfathers because the women complain about those type of men. So we acquiesce to what they wanted, but are they better than their grandmothers? All right, I'm going to push back a little bit, Thunder. You know I love you. But what man worth his weight as a man would acquiesce to any woman that wants him to be less than? I'm just putting it out there. I'm going to wait for you to respond. I'm going to get through these comments. Stanley says, no fault divorce is what I mean. Granny was tougher than that. But see, let's also see, now y'all gonna make me come unglued a little bit.
Triggered?
No, it ain't triggered. I'm asking some questions. Y'all like to throw up the grandmas, but y'all act like grandmama was having a gay old time. Like everything was woohoo. Buster was just doing. Y'all not listen. I tell y'all a story all the time. I had an uncle who had two women giving birth in the same hospital floor, a room between them apart at the same time. So we don't talk about those grandmamas and those aunties that put up with that kind of stuff. We always have this fantasy of these grandmas who was just tough as nails and she was just getting the best treatment ever by her grandpas. And I'm not saying all our grandpas were dirtbags, but I think we need to cut the nonsense and saying, well, the women ain't built like they used to. Some women are probably like, I'm glad that I'm not built like that because our grandmamas put up with a lot of stuff they took to their grave. I'm just keeping it real.
Right. Now, and I agree with that. Like I said, I have not said that I disagree with it, but at the same time, back in those days, our grandparents and stuff, I mean, these people could be walking down the street and were lynched every day. These people are getting, dealing with racism. And I'm talking from a man's perspective. These guys are going out in society every day, dealing with the oppression that afflicts them. Even to this very day, you could look in the average black man's eye, or black person's eye, and they've got jaundice in their eye because their eye is yellow from the stress of being a black person in America. Even to this very day, a young black man could be walking, minding his own business, and could be gunned down in the street by the police. That is something men deal with every day. So it wasn't a cakewalk for men to begin with. Again, our first role is protector. So we have enough stress as it is. And God forbid, back in our grandfather's days, these guys had 9 to 12 children on an average that they've got to protect and provide for. So there was a lot of stress on both sides. So it wasn't a cakewalk for either of them back in those days.
I totally agree, which is why I'm asking about the whole narrative that grandmama was tougher and she just put up with it. It's like, put up with what? And good measure, you say, Demetri, you're acting like traditional was a robot, like a Stepford wives. No, I said that's what some modern men are thinking that traditional means from women, and that she just doesn't have any emotions. Like she's AI essentially, right? She has functions, but she doesn't have emotions or input or anything to add to anything. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's what a lot of modern men are expecting from traditional women, if that makes any sense. Facts Not Feelings. It says, Donovan, how long do those college educated marriages last? I mean, there's a
Okay,
lot of
I'm gonna speak from my experience, because you guys know I was in the military all of my life and all of this stuff, right? Most of my fellow black officers in the military and their spouses met in college. They've been married for 40 years plus. 40 years plus. That's what I'm saying. Because they're on the same path. They're going through the same path. They both want things in life. You can't go out here in the street and you've been running the streets as a roughneck, whatever you want to call it. Then you meet a college chick. She's coming from a different perspective, and then you're coming from a street perspective. Sometimes it doesn't jive. Opposites do attract, but it doesn't mean they're going to stay together.
Yeah, and Kiki says another lie that is being propelled. Y'all need to go find that group, Black Couple Revolution. Black people are getting married. Please stop pushing your experiences on other people. This is the issue now. Just because something didn't work for you doesn't mean it won't work for someone else. A lot of men love educated women. Shaking my head. Every boat doesn't move by the same sails. Very good point. And
she nailed it.
Yep. One Who Cares says, my opinion, no fault divorces are because most don't have stick to itness. It's all good until it gets rough. And then Joanne says, absolutely. First thing, I agree with you today. You want traditional, be traditional. So she's agreeing with you. And good message says traditional includes being long-suffering through thick and thin, good and bad. Modern is nope, I can find better. Goodbye. I'm not dealing with this. That is part of it too. But the long-suffering to what? I think that needs to be defined. What is the traditional woman supposed to be long-suffering to? A lot of things that we're not talking about in some of these traditional marriages is physical abuse. Back in the day.
Yeah, you know what? Physical abuse, they need to lock some of these women up. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how these women attack men and then we go to jail.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, though, I'm saying from a traditional woman's point of view, especially in a lot of states, women were considered property, And so, in a lot of those traditional marriages back in the day, a lot of women were physically abused, and it was it was like, well, whatever, you belong to him type of thing. So that's why
patriarchy of the country.
So that's what I said. What does it mean we have to define long suffering, because we never want to give the impression that you just put up with it, whatever it may be. I think everybody should have a limit, Let's see here. Let's see here. William says, why the complaint? Who says divorce, homes, travel, and money? Spicy Peach says, I took care of all the neighbors' hood kids, and when mine grew up, the hood kids, it's a mess. Y'all are not thinking of who is doing this to their kids, to your kids' TV. Who owns TV? How are they profiting? Good point. Mike, nice. What's going on with you? Says, good evening, Dimitri Donovan in chat. And I'm going to skip down a little bit so I can catch up, because I know I'm a little bit behind. Rain, you say, I'm a traditional woman with a nursing degree. There you go.
Bring it to the table, baby. Bring it to the table. That's more. Bring it to the table. We're going to live good.
Notorious Hebrew, he says, go be with the woman who want what you want. You don't get to dictate what women should and shouldn't want. Stop trying to push your views on others. I totally agree. You can't tell all women what to do. Go be with that woman that suits your needs and go live a good life. It's just that simple.
But I have a question though.
I knew it.
I have a question. If a man is abusive like that, why would you be married to? Wouldn't he have shown signs of that before? Maybe some guys are good actors or whatever. But what I don't understand is, how does a man turn into an Ike Turner, and you've courted this man or whatever, and you got into a marriage and stuff, and all of a sudden he becomes this abusive monster that you had nothing at? And I'm talking about the modern women. I'm talking about modern women.
Okay, so repeat that.
How do you get into an abusive relationship with a man that have traits of being abusive, and you're married to this man? Wouldn't he have shown those traits when you were courting? That's what kind of kills. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying, for me, it blows my mind, because when I'm vetting a person, when I'm courting them, I'm looking at how they react to certain things. And it blows my mind how a lot of women get into these abusive relationships. And it's like, well, you're a smart woman. Why didn't you see any signs? Did you, I'm sure you guys had arguments. How did he react to those arguments? So my question is, how is it that a majority of women come to the conclusion that men are narcissistic, abusive, and so on and so forth? That's the narrative that is, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't think it is, but a lot of women, they all say the same playbook. They look at the playbook and say, men, narcissistic, abusive. That's the playbook. So why didn't they know that before they married him?
Because there's a lot of things you will never know about a person until you marry them. And I think that everybody is narcissistic to some degree. There is levels to it. But I think it gets kind of dangerous when you try, well, not you, but I'm just saying in general, say, well, that's what every woman says, that a man is this or a woman, blah, 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 because you don't know that person's personal experience. And so I think we have to be careful not to try to discount people's experiences with whomever they're with, because we don't know that. Now, are some people lying or embellishing? Sure, that's got to be true. But I never try to get it to a point to where I try to debunk somebody's experience with in a relationship, because I wasn't.
Absolutely. Now, you know me, when I look at young women, the modern women, the young modern women, and I ask them when they bring those points up, I said, have you ever been in an abusive relationship? Oh, hell no, I'll never do that. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, I have to take your word for it. I'm not privy to those conversations. Good Measure says, but are Black couples staying married? That's the question. Anyone can get married.
In my experience and my friends, most of my friends, I'm out of all my friends, I'm mostly the only one not married other than Demetra herself. But Demetra was married and got divorced. So, yeah, I believe Black people are getting married.
Yeah, and there's plenty of Black people that are staying married. See, I think the unfortunate part is we believe a lot of the stuff that we see on the internet, all these narratives, but we all know Black people who are married, and Black people have been married for a very long time. So, we just try not to, blanket everybody, as Kiki said. And Cola, I hope I said that right. How are you doing? Hello, Michael. He says, Demetra and Donovan, who is the war zone with the 5-star general? He has a show as well. We used to be on the war zone with Gary Monroe is his name. Spicy Peach says, hell yeah, mommies and daddies will always make more sense. Facts Not Feeling says the divorce numbers are higher for educated people. The numbers don't lie. Okay. Let's see here. And Only Countless Way says rule of thumb, quote unquote. Skip down a little bit. Stanley says staying married is the key. Okay, so you're saying that Good Measure. And Good Measure says, here's an example of long suffering. The man you fell in love with is a slob. Ooh, and forgets to pick up after himself. Dealing with that is long suffering. Yeah. I don't think that's worthy of throwing a man away or a relationship away. I mean, I think those are the things that you work on, because especially when you're married for some time, people are going to probably let themselves go, or, pick up some bad habits, or not pick up their clothes. But I don't think that's a deal breaker. I think that's a conversation that needs to be had. But see, the thing is, the conversation needs to be had and understood on both sides, right? Somebody says, honey, can you pick up your drawers off the floor? Why does that even need to be an argument? Yeah, honey, you know what? That is inconsiderate. That's pretty nasty too. There's a hamper over here. Let me just go and throw my underwear away. Why does it have to come in? Why you can't just pick them up? Why it always got to be something you got to say? It's you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we have to be adult enough, have this conversation. I'm going to keep it real with you. If you are, or I was, a slob, those are your terms, not mine, and somebody says to you, honey, when is the last time you seen your feet? That's probably, key for you to say, oh, let me go and go to the gym. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I hate with a passion when men or women, you need to love me the way I am. No, get your slobby butt in the gym, get some tennis shoes on, push away from the table. If I'm your wife and you are a little bit on the chunky side, I'm going to do my best not to make you a whole bunch of junk food and carbs and things that's going to aid in you being a slob. But I hate when people say, well, I don't want it. It goes for men and women. If you were not met in that condition, you had it going on a little bit. I know we age and gravity and all that takes place. But if you have let yourself go and your significant other is in a loving way, bringing that to your attention, I think you should say, okay, you know what? let me go on and do what I gotta do. But all that, that's me. He telling me.
You know what I've learned in relationships as I get older? And this is the sad thing. As people, we sometimes always think people are raised like we were raised. And that's not the case at all. I mean, you got some people that had no home training. I mean, there's some women out there that, oh man, the girl's fine. She's got everything you want, right? And she's raised in the projects or whatever, right? And maybe, she had to raise herself, so she doesn't know. So sometimes you really got to know and ask questions before you get in a relationship with these people so that you know. But I'm gonna say this right now: ain't no funky, stanky ass draws gonna make me get in an argument with my significant other when it's just simple for me just to pick it up, put it in the hamper, bring it to her attention, and do it. You want to know why I would do that? Because that's my woman.
So you're saying you would just pick the drawers up,
pick it up, just be done with it.
You
and bring it to her attention. No, I bring it to her attention, but at the same time, I'm not going to get in an argument over some draws. It's just not worth it. That's my woman. I will do it.
Yeah, an argument is silly. Hey, baby, did you miss the hamper for the 10th time? I mean, yeah. You bring
fellas, we all know how many of y'all go take a shower and them bras are hanging over the damn rails and stuff, and you got to make, you know what I mean? I mean, this comes with the territory. You got to know what you're dealing with.
I agree with that, but y'all like what's in them bras, though, huh? CG says the word narcissistic is cliche. So you're saying it's kind of a run-of-the-mill type of a thing, huh? You're narcissistic. I think everybody's narcissistic. I mean, who does not like to talk about them even to a small degree, right? Me. William says much money is seriously. Spicy Peach says Democrats have been taken over by globalist elite that want them divided. Okay. And Andre, how are you doing? It says, do you have the gift to stay single, aka celibacy? The gift nobody wants. If yes, stay single and be upfront with it. So are you saying, as far as, let me read that again. Do you have the gift to stay single, aka celibacy? The gift nobody wants. So are you saying, does in general, does somebody have the ability to stay celibate? If you're single, because you're saying that's what it means to be single. Yeah, I guess there's kind of different definitions of single. Some people are single and mingling, right? And some people are single in every sense of the word that they do not mingle. It's like, I'm not going to share my body with somebody that does not belong to me per se, right? So, I don't know. It's a good question. And then Rain says, I dated one guy for years and I recently found out that he was a woman beater. He never raised his voice to me. Yeah, so how would she know that, right? Until she found out. And Kiki says, you'd be surprised, Donovan. Sometimes even vetting bad slips in. They are very deceptive people, and sometimes it depends on the situation. The most dangerous time for a woman is when she is leaving. Never know how people's minds snap. Have to think about it. If most women like bad men, so many bad men wouldn't lie about being good. Just saying. Oof. Wow.
That's what I like about this show. We have people that are on here that are smarter than us.
Absolutely, Kiki. Absolutely. And Michael says, Dimitri and Donovan, how do you encourage Asians who are uncomfortable talking about fighting a Black agenda? I encourage those who are interested in a Black agenda for Black people, Asians that are interested in a Black agenda for Black people, to talk to your fellow Asians about the necessities for a Black agenda. That's what I would do. Facts, not feelings, said the numbers don't lie. Many Blacks stay in marriage not because they are happy and fulfilled, but because of kids' fear of getting destroyed in family court. But I don't think that's ubiquitous to Black people. I think that's probably true for a lot of people. But see, the problem that I have with a lot of men and women is why focused on, I hear somebody say all the time, oh, it's easy to get married, but it's hard to get out of it. It's like, how so? How is it hard to get out of it? Why don't you plan to stay in the marriage? What, are you going to do something to where the marriage doesn't work? Are you planning on that woman doing something to where the marriage don't work? You see what I'm saying? Back in the day, people just got married. They was like, shit, I'm going to get married and, make it do what it do. But now people are, I think the people who ask that kind of thing is like, you don't want to stay married anyway. Why are you thinking about getting out of the marriage if you probably, that's not probably something you don't want to do. So.
Technically, Dimitri, when you went through your divorce, how long did that take you in the state of California?
It took Not even 10 months.
Yeah, because I know when I got divorced here in California, it took 6 months.
Yeah, it's like
Was that
yeah. So from the time you file, you have to wait 6 months in case one of you change your mind, which I was not gonna do. You change your mind or whatever the case is, and then after the 6 months, it's you know it's done. You're divorced. So yeah, about 6 months or so. Andre says, do you desire to be married with children or without children? Then get married and stay married as long as you can. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why focus on the marriage not working? Just focus on it working, right? And a good marriage says long suffering, working it out when the going gets rough is my point. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, going gets rough, normal stuff. Yeah, you should work out. But unfortunately, people don't even know what that is anymore. People just feel like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm uncomfortable. Or their eye wanders, right? And they go see something else and then they destroy a whole relationship over somebody else. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with you on that. And Arson, it says, Donovan, you are the man. I have been asking the same question all my life. I will never believe so many men are such good actors. I just think women overlook signs more often than we realize. I mean, that could be true. People are overlooking the signs, but this is the question that I'll ask y'all. Why are there signs to be overlooked? Why? See, because this is where I have a problem. Why put the onus of a woman who's getting her ass beat over the man that's beating her ass? Why not ask him those questions? Why not hold his feet to the fire? And why are you being something that's being overlooked? Why are you beating that woman's ass? I mean, I'm just asking, you know. Rain says, I would ask him when was the last time he seen his peen. Talking about a man that's kind of on the heavy. What? See, that's a little austere, but you know, whatever works. Babe Rax, how you doing? Long time no see. He says, oh, look at that magnificent afro. Look at it. Thank you so much. I rarely comb my afro out, but when it's cold, I try to. In the summertime, y'all probably ain't gonna see this much. It's gonna be because I'm where it's humid. And Cola says, a lot of married couples aren't happy in their marriage, and a lot of them are cheating on each other. That's true, but then guess what? There's a lot of people who aren't cheating on each other and who are happy in their marriage. Y'all see what I did there? You know what I mean? Like, don't use the people who aren't happy as a reason not to go be happy. Like, I can't think of anybody who, especially our age, that's out in them streets. Like most people that I talk to, especially men who are out there, who are you looking at? Men, especially men that are our age, they out there on the prowl. I'm trying to find me a young tenderoni, a young woman. And then they like, oh, she this, oh, she that. Oh, she don't do this. Oh, she don't do that. It's like, well, what happened to the good, fine, tenderoni thing that you had that was doing all that stuff? See, you greedy. You're out there and you're letting your little man do all the thinking, and you're out there and you're catching a bad one. I don't know.
Now let's be seriously now. They have found in studies, and it is factually proven, that women cheat just as much as men do. The DNA does not lie, and it's just a known fact. So this trope that like it's only the men that cheat, that's out the window now in the modern age. No. I'm not even speaking on you. I'm just putting that out there for our listeners there, that now with the technology in the modern world, we have found that women cheat just as much as men.
Sorry, I almost swallowed lemon seed. I never said that women, because who the hell are the men cheating with? Women. So if a man, sometimes they're cheating with a man.
Well, not necessarily nowadays in the modern age.
Right. But let's say if a man is cheating with a woman, ain't the woman cheating just as much? So therefore, the man can't be doing all or most of the cheating. I mean, let's use some logic here. And a TM1 says, honest and real conversations. Yeah, you got to. And Cola, I totally agree with you. The drawers shouldn't even be on the floor in the first place. That's kind of gross. You know what I mean? It's like you leaving your drawers on the. I actually knew a man who was married to a woman, and he says it'd be times he'd come home and he'd have to get undressed. You know, I guess she's walking through the door, and he said there's a couple times that her underwear was in the middle of the floor, like she just stepped out of him and left him there. I was like, oh, that's a nasty heifer right there. That's a nasty heifer, but whatever, you know. And our brother Reggie says, laugh out loud, right, Donovan? And William says, so you're agreeing with TM1. Joanne, he says, if you want to be celibate, ask God in prayer. Yeah, I mean, celibacy is not a bad thing. We are in a society to where we think you got to be getting it on everywhere like rabbits, like, celibacy is how you clear your mind and you get in tune with self. But when you're not celibate, and I'm talking about somebody who's single, you're sharing, your personal space with people. And how do you really even get a chance to say, because I think celibacy is a time for you to just, you know what I mean? Like, get in tune with yourself. You can't do that if you're just jumping in and out of everybody's bed. At our age, I'm gonna just keep it real. I think that's pretty nasty at any age, really. But, you in your 50s and you still bed hopping. Why? Too old for that. Spicy P says she shouldn't have asked around. And Notorious Hebrew says, exactly, Kiki, exactly. And Deborah, how you doing? Says, wow. Joanne says, military is a violent situation. And Thunder says, a man working 12 hours a day, putting up with BS on the job, and then coming home to a wife, spitting venom. I can't do anything about the outside world, but I'll be damned if I don't have any say. So in my home, I totally agree with you. A woman should not be creating that type of environment for her man. It's, he's out there in the world, he's getting it, making the money and all that, and she, he's probably not gonna stay there too long. He's gonna say, "Hey, boss, you got some more overtime hours?" So, all right, LS, what you got?
No, I be take this job and shove it.
Hey, LS, what's going on with you?
Not too much. Can you hear me? Am I coming in clear?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the word. In the beginning, the Lord said He made Eve to be a helpmeet. In modern times, I mean, to me, that definition has not changed. It's just that the duties have, and that I'm not saying that's the woman's fault. As a matter of fact, the enemies of the word are the progenitors of the division, and I say that because when you look at women work now more times than not, whether they want to or not, because of the circumstances set forth. We have what is called tax. The Bible calls it usury. God is not for that either, because of the evil in the world and those who do not want His structure to remain as it is why we have what we have. Division between sexes, which the Lord said that the woman is to be under the man, but it was never in the sense of you just do what I say and that's it. It was always a sense of, if he is submitting to God's will, then yes, you submit to him, because he's going to lead you in the best direction. A man who loves the woman he chooses to give his last name and who knows his will is not going to go against that. Is not going to go against his name. So, I think both sides need to have perspective and realize who is really causing the division in relationships in society. I mean, you brought up earlier that or someone in the comment section had mentioned Michael Eric Dyson and Mark Lamont Hill. Those kind of people who are, for lack of a better term, called the talented 10th, have not come back to our community and made it stronger. They've come back and made it weaker, made it subservient to a group that is not for us. And when I say group that is not for us, I'm not necessarily talking about color, because there are people of color, not the fake term that Democrats use, but people of our same color, meaning just because you my skin don't mean you my kin. You ain't for me. So I just wanted to drop that.
I appreciate you for that, coming with the biblical terms on us. You having a good day?
Oh, no doubt. How y'all? What did I say? Welcome to 2023. I think I did.
Yeah,
I'm driving, so the camera looking a little crazy, but
that's okay.
I mean, I really don't like the fact that men and women are especially black men, because I'm a black man, I'm married to a black woman, that we are pulling apart from each other. And it's insane. I mean, I hear the term traditional, and it's like it's women are taking it as an offense. I mean, I don't honestly believe most men just want a woman that's gonna drop to her knees when you come home from work. I mean, be happy to see me and all that, but I think it's the combative part. And some of that is, I mean, look at the shows they give us to watch. Love and hip hop, those type shows where, I mean, you see the animosity, and it's unfortunate that does bleed into people's relationships
Right.
if
Or the
it's
show
not already
Basketball
there.
Wives. The show
Yeah,
Basketball Wives. None
yeah,
of those
all
women
that.
were married. None of them were married.
See, I mean, how you even call yourself a basketball wife? You're not even married to the ball player anymore. I mean, you can be former basketball wives,
But
but you're not current.
let me throw this at y'all since y'all want to bring up basketball wives and all these other stuff. Why those men wifing those type of women, or even planting seeds in those type of women?
I mean, and there's blame to be laid at both sides. That's why I said we got to pull together in the same direction instead of pulling apart. I mean, when Demetri, when you said earlier about well, why is it the man just bringing home all the bacon? Society has, like I said, the enemies of his structure have structured society in that way. It is, unless you know, a high earner, we'll go with that term. It's very hard to support a household uh, on one income, and it's not, you know, a man's uh, choice that he's not making enough to supply what an entire family needs. Remember when y'all talked about how many children our foreparents had in a marriage, 10, 12, whatever, where the cost of food, they weren't paying $4 for 12 eggs or $9 for 12 eggs. I mean, they are not, the enemy is against us, and we have to find the Lord, work together, and fight to stay together. I mean, the enemy would love nothing more than divorce, and that's not a shot. That's just what he. I mean, he wants division, and I'm not saying that there aren't times when you have to separate. I mean, some people shouldn't be married, you know, to each other. I mean, and some people don't respect marriage. When you get married, you make those vows to the Lord first while you are saying them to your partner. And I'm not talking about same sex partner because that's not marriage.
Right.
So, you know, great show though. I like how y'all doing it. Thank you
Thank
for letting me come in. And I'm back to the comments.
thank
Oh,
you. Bye bye.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good. I mean, I like that comment. I mean, his opinion. Like I said, a lot of people might not agree with it, but his opinion, and I'm gonna respect it.
Yes, indeed. And again, y'all can click the link if y'all have something to say. But of course, how you doing? It says DC is here. Shalom, family black first. May God bless the mighty Hebrew Israelites and the nation of Islam. Hey, Miss Queen K. Hey. And let's see here. Spicy Peach says they learn how to make money off playing the peasants they control. And Deborah, he says, are backed up in a corner and fighting to be released. No means no. So now we don't have to say no, if you know what I mean. Come on in is examined. $1 to be serviced. Let's go back 200 years, if not. And I'm sorry, I don't understand your comment. I'm sure it was something we said. Thunder, you talking about passport bros. Boo. I'm just kidding. If y'all want to go and find y'all woman overseas, have at it. Good luck. William says, why a man of true God a problem? Oh, I don't think it's a problem. Thunder says, blue book, gentlemen. Blue book, women, blue book.
Wait. I'm glad you brought that up because here's the thing. And I want our audience to think about this. I'm seriously, guys, I'm gonna be serious. Really think about this. We are in the greatest country in the world. Now, women say they want a man with 6 figures and all this other stuff, right? Okay, great. If you go to these other countries that the passport bros are going to, let's say you go to the Philippines, there's not that many people that make six figures over there and are 6 feet tall. You would have to go to Zaddy in Europe over there and find somebody or whatever. You know, the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, if you really think about it, women really can't do what the men are doing in general. You can do it in the aspect of, but like finding a man that's 6 feet, 6 figures, that's going to be very hard overseas to do that.
Ain't nobody trying to be doing that. See, y'all, that's the thing too. And gender equality, come back in like the last 10 minutes or so. I want to allow some other people to come on here. But see, that's the thing. Again, y'all run away with these narratives. All the women is looking for a 6 feet, 6 figure.
See, there you go, taking it somewhere else. I was doing a narrative.
Okay, but no,
wait, do the same thing.
Let me debunk this, because y'all just be off the chain with the nonsense. Y'all know how many women I know that has married somebody overseas? So we trying to say that women can't do it. Women been doing it for years. I
agree, but what I'm saying is, you see, that's what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I said. The narrative that they put on black men, and people in the comments understand exactly what I just said. When they've got this narrative that they expect black men in the United States to have 6 figures, this, that. What I'm saying is, you're not going to find that in other countries as much as you would here in the United States. That's what I'm saying, or in Europe. It's very hard to find these standards that these new modern women have. You're not going to find that in a lot of overseas countries.
And I'm going to say this to you too. Stop allowing the stuff you see on the internet make you think that is the litmus test to women. That is the women that's on the internet talking about he got to be 6 feet, 6 figure. No,
exactly. That's what I'm talking to.
Right. Well, so but is that all women?
I didn't say that was all women. I said the women that want the 6 feet, whatever. That's the women on the internet, right? See what I'm saying? You're not listening to what I said. I didn't say all women. I didn't say all women. Bro. I said the women that have these standards. That's exactly what I said. And you took it somewhere else.
This is just sad. This is just sad.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
I heard everything you said, brother.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No.
I said the women that have these unrealistic standards.
Don't do me, bro. Don't do me, bro. You know I hear you very well. And what you tried to do there was, I heard everything you said. Listen, I hear better on this side, but I can hear on both sides. Okay, I heard what you said. And what you said was, oh, women can't do what men are doing. When I held up my lesson, because I got a good memory too. I'm older, but I ain't old. I held up my book and I said, we got, it's my blue book or whatever too. I was joking with Thunder. And then you came out with the rhetoric of, oh, well, y'all can't do what we do. Because
I said the women that have the standards, and I clarified the women I was talking about. I did. Said the women that want the 6 figures, the 6 feet. Is that you? No, that might not be you. That might not be the most of the women. I'm talking to the people.
Mover.
The what? No.
Mover.
Person that doesn't want to listen.
Goalpost mover. Okay, back to Andre. You says, why bed hop, AK single and mingle when you should be married? Obviously, you don't have the gift of celibacy. Get married and stay married as long as you can. Be a friend and move on. I totally agree. I'm one of those people that I will not be bed hopping with nobody. You ain't gonna be hopping on me. I ain't gonna be hopping on you. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm not at all. I'm not. I'm just not. All right, let me move along here. Donovan, thank you, slick. Let's see it in Thunder. Okay. Let me get to these comments. We're gonna stay focused. Buckhorse and Williams says, if I appear and talk to women and men to know who I am, I can't answer. And I don't know what that means, but if you want to, I think I understand it. Thunder says, if you want a good woman, go in the mountains and find one riding a horse and she's not wearing shoes. That's white material. You sound like a caveman when you want to just pop her over the head and just drag her back home or something. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna skip down. Joanne says again, caller, there's a season for a reason. Okay, so y'all replying to the caller that was on her. Let me catch up. So a lot of y'all agree with him. Notorious Hebrew says equally yoked. Can two walk together lest they be agreed? Some people say yes. I say no. It doesn't always mean. I guess if you're religious, you should share the same religion. But There's so many other things that applies to. Oh my God, so many things. You know what I mean? And Andre says, good point. NH, an important notorious Hebrew. Okay. Good measure says, are passport brothers really looking for marriage though? No, no. They looking for some young tenderoni. Donovan, please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. What you got to say?
What about the passport bros? What are they looking for? I don't know. I have no clue because if you're asking me, somebody who's traveled most of my life, these guys that go out there and exploit women, especially in the military, when we go to place and we do democracy, a lot of these guys aren't going out there to get married. That's just my experience with it. They're not going, but some do. Very, very few, but some do.
It is the premise of the passport bros mission is to go find a wife.
I don't know. I don't follow the passport bros. To be honest, I really don't. I don't know what the premise is because to me, when I look at these fools, it's like when I go to the Dominican Republic, I just see a bunch of fools that if they were in the United States, they wouldn't even get third choice. And they're in a place where they have dollars in a poorer country, and they're using that to their advantage. So I don't think they're coming over there with the premise of getting married. That's my personal opinion.
Hello, Yanni. He says, we do need to come together as a people, agree to disagree. Scripture says there is strength in numbers. Yes. Well, if you listen to our dear brother Philip Scott, he actually did a show on it not too long ago, the Passport Bros, and he said he admonished the Passport Brothers and saying the premise is to go find a wife, not to go frolic with the young teeny boppers or they, in their young 20s. That ain't the premise to go over there and run roughshod all through those countries, women in different countries. It's to go find a wife and stay over there. From what I understand, it's not.
Absolutely, I agree with that. If that's what you're going to do.
But two, I think it was good measure. Was that or who was it? Joanne who asked that question? Forget who it was, but. Are they going over there looking for wives, or are they going over there looking for a good time? And most of them,
from what I've seen, they're going over there looking for a good time. I don't see too many of them over there looking for wives. I mean, it's just prevalent from what I've seen. Now, again, for those guys that don't know me, I lived overseas most of my formative years. So, Philippines, you name it, and even the military, I traveled a lot. So I've seen some people over there. They're just there to have a good time.
And most of them brothers, when I was in the DR, looked like they already got a wife. So they ain't looking for another one. They looking for some young girl who barely legal, so he can go over there and have a good time with it and go back to the States and pretend like black women ain't nothing.
Okay, wait a minute. I got to push back on that. You're saying barely legal. I don't know where you're going with that, but I think it's given a false acronym that men are going over there to, child exploit. I don't think that's what's happening in the DR.
When I say barely legal, I mean that's illegal, but just barely, right? That's what barely legal means. Let's not chop up the definition.
No. What I'm saying is when
she's very young.
Yeah. So you're saying like 19 or something like that. I just want to just kind of clarify because a lot of people think that like what's going on in the Philippines with the white men, the sex trafficking and stuff like that, they kind of get that confused. So in the DR, I didn't see. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm just saying it's not as prevalent. So.
I'm just asking. And good measure says, "Oh Lord, see Dimitri, you can't be married and not want to listen." I tell you one thing, I can listen, but I ain't gonna listen to no nonsense. See, there's a difference. There's a difference. You see, that's the other thing too. This is why we're having this discussion of modern men. Y'all got the game all messed up. You are not in a position to subjugate your woman. You are not in a position, you're not put in that position to put your thumb over that woman. I am a woman. I'm a very educated woman. I take in a lot of knowledge, and I'm not going to be quiet when I hear some nonsense going forward. And Donovan knows that probably more than anybody because we've been sitting on this thing for a few years now having these discussions. So, I mean, I think you got to twist it, the ability to listen or the ability to be subjugated. Well, I mean, I think we need to clarify that. But on no circumstances am I going to be no doormat. My mama nor my daddy raised me to be that. So I hope that helps. All right. Let's see. Double A says, Most would take 6 figures without 6 feet. And some would take 6 feet without 6 figures. So, I mean, it's like, I hear that narrative. It's got to be 6 feet, 6 figures and all that. But I don't know any women, and that's just me. I don't know any women that says, oh, child, you got to have 6 feet, 6 inches, I guess, I don't know, and 6 figures. I don't know women who are talking in that manner. I see somebody came on. I hope it's not the same person that keep coming on. If it is, go on and click off until further notice. Okay, so let's see here. Anita says, shoot, it's hard to find a 6-figure earner that's 6 feet here.
Statistically, let's go to the facts for those that might not know. The average Black man in the United States income is approximately $40,000. That is the average Black man. About 10% of the Black population, 8 to 10% of the Black population makes 6 figures. That's a very, very small number. 12% of the Black population is above 6 feet. Those are the numbers. So astronomically, you're dealing with, when women want certain things or people want a certain thing, it's like men that want to be pro athletes. What is the percentage chances of a man being a pro athlete in any sport? Less than 1%.
But again,
these are facts.
But I agree with all that. But y'all, again, that's probably a small, very small percentage of women, Black women, running around saying that kind of stuff. I mean, I think we need to get out of silly season where we allow the idiots on the internet to define what it is for everybody else. Because like I said, in real life, in real time, I have not heard a woman say that's the only way she's going to be with a man. I've never heard that. So I just think a lot of times.
Oh, wait, what are you talking about? The 6 inches, 666?
Yeah, I've never heard a woman say that. Never.
Weren't we at the club and that one time you saw that one guy that looked like you thought was El DeBarge? No, never mind. Go ahead.
El DeBarge is like 5'9" on a good day. Absolutely.
Wait, and before we go, you guys, Demetra, if you heard recently, Mr. Eldra DeBarge was arrested. Demetra knows for a fact he was set up.
He was set up. I know it. Facts Not Feeling says passport brothers are looking for long-term relationships. They are not like the soldiers spreading democracy. Some of them are. They should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should be.
All I say is this: if you're going to meet a woman from overseas, and this is just my experience, and I give this to men and women, do not bring them to the United States. Keep them where you met them. That's the best advice I can give you.
Absolutely. Rain says the passport brothers know they could get $30 sex. Thunder says find a wife. And Brother Reddy says them cats just looking for some trim. Listen, I was over there in the DR and I seen it with my own 2 eyes. Facts Not Feeling says it's a lie.
Those brothers, that's not true. Those brothers were having Bible study in the sports. And it was a wait, remember we were there? Wasn't it a fraternity? So the boule, they're out there doing this stuff.
Facts Not Feelings. It says it's a lie and propaganda to suggest passport brothers go overseas for young women. Brother, I was over there. I seen it myself. I seen it. Matter of fact, the first night, Donovan took us to Sasua. And I'm like, brother, you ain't have to bring me to Sasua. I could have met you in Santo Domingo, brother. I didn't need to come here. But the first night we was over there, my daughter got punched in the damn kidneys from a group of young girls running from the police. And those young girls more than likely was prostitutes. So I saw it with my own eyes, all the young girls and all the old dudes. And there was a lot of brothers over there mingling with the sisters. So listen, one thing I ain't never gonna have to do is lie to kick it, brother. I ain't gonna lie to kick it. I'm telling you what I saw. That's what I saw.
And a lot of the brothers that are over there, and I'm not like downing the coast and stuff, because I've been back over there several times. They're from the East Coast because it's easier to travel there. It's only like an hour or 2 flight or whatever it is. So a lot of them are from the East Coast, Philly, New York, whatever. So, and a lot of the Dominicans get a lot of their knowledge of America from what they see on the TV because their satellite feed comes in from New York and the East Coast. So that's where they get their ideas.
Absolutely. I can't pronounce your name, but who's there?
Gina Donovan Mera Mama Agotera Ogbo Di Aichi Enka Oma.
What?
All right. What's the question? Give me a question so we can close it out.
Yeah.
Make it look good.
Quickly, a quick question.
Yes. So in other words, I was saying in this is Igbo in Nigeria. You and Donovan are awesome. You understand diverse generations very well. I'm sorry for not speaking Igbo very well. I apologize.
That's okay. So, what's your question? What's happening, Michael?
What's happening, Big Mike? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm sorry to use different names because I'm just sensing how your audience going to react. So I just trying to be very cautious because I understand that the tensions between the two groups, you understand what I mean, is very intense. So yeah, so my question is, well, it's a common question.
Wait. How about this? Let me give you a question, Mike.
Sure.
Recently, Sheila Jackson Lee from Houston. She's represented Houston. She's been there for 33 years, I believe, 32 years, whatever, in office.
Mhm.
She recently came out and said that reparations is something that they want to, not HR 40, reparations is something that they want to put on the agenda coming up. My
Mhm.
question to you is, isn't it funny that when the Democrats lose power, now they want to talk about reparations on the federal level?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Donovan and Dimitri, yes, Democrats, yes, very interesting, very ironic and funny because Democrats, like you said, long time, and what Philip Scott said. Now Democrats want to come to us black people because they took us for granted and took us for granted. They know that. Well, I don't want to say we. I mean, me. I'm not black. I meant to say I'm just quoting what Philip Scott says. So don't take me off that. What he's saying. So now you want to come to us black people because we're very emotional. So now you need a vote. Oh, and Phil Scott said, and I'm just quoting, but Democrats, why don't you go to Asians for your votes, Hispanics, Jews or whites? What happened? And I know Democrats don't want to admit that they failed on black people for so long. And by the way, the reparations that Sheila Jackson Lee is trying to implement, I know it's a smoke screen. She's very careful about not saying by excluding the word HR 40, but it's very clear she's using HR 40, but she's trying to be very very covert, right? Because she knows she doesn't want to offend you like Muzungus, Asians, Hispanics, right? So and also Republicans, right? So she knows that HR 40, it's a stalled progress for Black progress, right? So I see it both ways. It benefits Democrats. Think about it, because Democrats say we need to study slavery to see if it exists in this country or not, and whereas Republicans say HR 40 is a good idea because why should we pay money to ADOS, which we didn't owe, and which is very wrong. And that's why I say both of them are fake. I don't want to sound being cuss, but let me try to be polite as much as possible because I know YouTube censors, a lot of people. I'll just say that they're being like, when a girl smiles you, right? You think she's all good, but then you look underneath the surface, you find out that she's not the real person you expected, right? So it's the same thing what Democrats are doing, smiling, saying we'll get reparations through, right? And so yeah, it's fake and it's phony. So that's why how do I say this? That's why it's not real. And the HR 40, it needs to be scrapped. I say, you know what? Pay reparations immediately. Like why you need to study Democrats, I don't understand. And not only they do this to black people, excuse me, to black voters, but they do this to progressive voters when it comes to Medicare for all and other progressive uh, policies that we need to study. But I'm like, you bailed out the ultra wealthy and big corporations with stimulus money. I'm sorry, tax breaks, but you didn't need to study for that. So to me, and I'm sure to both of you, it does excuse me, it doesn't make sense. And I know Democrats, and I just had an issue with one of the progressives this past Friday in the comments. I mean, I know it's going to sound a little off topic, but this was in a medical meeting. So a lot of Democrats were struggling, especially in Florida. So they're like, how can we keep the pace? how could we keep the progressive agenda? And I was doing a lot of thinking like this. I'm thinking, okay, if you really want universal policies to pass, don't forget, Black people also demanding reparations at the same time. And that's why I've been trying to tell the panel, the Mzungu panel so many times. And I received a backlash from this Irish guy. He said, and I just quoted, over the top of my head, I think he said, "Oh, I'm an Irishman. Irish people built the transcontinental railroad. Black people did farming." And when I read that comment very carefully, I said, "No, that's not correct. Sir, excuse me. Black people did everything from bottom to top. They not only did farming, they built a transcontinental railroad. They built schools, they built homes, they built the White House, they built the federal government, Congress." And I said, without Black people today, we wouldn't exist. And I knew he was getting very agitated when I said reparations, right? And a lot of the a lot of Democrats, they couldn't just wake up for simple fact. And so I was like kind of expecting a backlash, because I read in the article that the reason why.
But you know what, Brother Michael, I'm gonna have to cut you off because we're about to get out of here, and I want to get back into the comment section. But we can have a reparations conversation another time. But I kind of want to stay on topic just for the last.
Yeah, I'll stay on topic, sir. Yes, yes. To answer, yes. And so regarding, yes. Sorry to go off topic. Sorry.
But that's okay, but I'm gonna go and click you on out of here so we can go ahead and get back into the comment section.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Michael likes to comment, and that's great. I just kind of want to, get back into the comment section because we're not going to be here that much longer. Hello, El Buggy, how you doing? Let's see here who else came on here. Don, I see a comment. Yes, Good Measure says thank you, Brother Michael, indeed. And Moni says, what about when some of them come back with diseases, bringing it back to American women, and sometimes having down low encounters, I think you meant, like August after Jada Pinkett dumped them like men. Ooh. Truemonger, how you doing?
Why would a person be having, and I agree with you, Moni, on that. But the thing is, why would you have unprotected sex with a person that just came back from overseas or whatever? You see what I'm saying? It's like,
You said, why would a person be having sex with somebody that just came back from overseas?
Well, you know what I mean? It's like, isn't the onus on you to protect yourself?
I mean, I think if you are with somebody, I don't know what the context that is in. It's on both of y'all. You should treat diseases as if they're universal. But I want to go back to a comment that I saw here from, it was Facts, Not Feelings. Dusty Hotep, he says 6 feet, 6 pack, 6 figures, blue book gentlemen are looking for better options, period. Well, I mean, that's your right. Ain't nobody I say do what's best for y'all. That's what I say. I mean, I'm not one of those sisters that's going to try to stop you from going. I think you should do what's best for you. I mean, honestly, best wishes. I sincerely mean that. Facts, Not Feelings. You say, when you say young women, quote unquote, that often gets misconstrued for non-legal underage women. Well, whose fault is that you misconstruing that? I know what I said. I said barely legal. Anybody, come on now. Y'all don't get dunks now. Y'all know what barely legal means. And y'all know good and hell well that from what I saw. Now, where I was taken to visit, and come on now. And see, this is what I hate, is when we try to play silly. We know what men go to Sasua for.
Right. Wait,
let me finish.
No, go ahead.
We know what Sasua is for. We know why men go to Sasua. That is what they call in the States the track, the whole stroll. We know that. And so I'm telling you what I saw. Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of young women in the lower quartile of the 20s, I would say that, with very seasoned men. And so I'm telling you what I saw. Now, I'm one of those people. I know how to say underage girls. I ain't got to sugarcoat nothing for y'all. If I want to say underage girls, I would have said that. But I did not say that. Donovan?
I'm just going to have to correct you on something. It's not just Sasua. A prostitution, there's no such thing as prostitution in the DR at all. It's all over the island. between two consenting adults. It is good all over life. It's not just Sasua. It could be anywhere in the DR. So the biggest problem that they don't have and they come down on is pimping. There can't be a third party contracting the girls. That's a big situation there. But the whole country itself, two consenting adults can enter into an agreement, and that's it. It's not just Sasua.
Well, I didn't say that it was illegal or legal prostitution. I said that the men are going there in pursuit of the girls, or the women, I should say, that are really young.
Yeah, but you were saying Sasua is the track. It's the whole island.
It is the track. Come on now.
It's the whole island. You can do it anywhere.
Brother, see, now you talk about I don't listen. You didn't listen. Because what I said was where I was taken to visit. Did I not say that? I said where I was taken. I ain't been all over Dominican Republic. I went to Sasua, and then I went to Santo Domingo. I think that's where I was. Where I was traumatized. I went to Sasua, and I know I've spoken to quite a few men that say, "Oh, come on, man. Most men going to Sasua. We know what they're going to Sasua for."
Right, and I agree with you. I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is you could do that anywhere on that island. That's what I'm trying to clarify. I said,
because I don't want you to hijack what I said, brother. I said where I went to visit. That's where
right.
I went to visit.
But to say that is the track, it's you could do it anywhere on the island.
Is it not considered the track in Sasua?
Puerto Plata is considered that. Santo Domingo is considered that.
It's Sasua. I didn't say Santo Domingo, Puerto Plata, or Paquete Picato, and any of those other places. I said it's Sasua considered the track.
I don't know. Is it popular because of its area? Yes, but you could go to. There is more prostitution going on in Santo Domingo than there is in Sasua. Sasua is a small beach town.
Brother. Don't play games with me.
No, that's a fact. You're talking what you don't know. I'm telling you how it operates. No, you're going by what you saw, but I'm telling you how it operates.
Nah, brother.
Yes.
Nah. What you're not gonna do? You heard what I said, brother. And
I heard what you said.
Let me finish because they can't hear when we overtalk, brother. I said what I visited in Sasua. That's what I saw. You said it's all over. I said where I visited. I have not visited all of Dominican Republic. I visited Sasua, and I said where I was there, I saw those things up into including my daughter being punched in her kidney from a group of running girls running from the police. Did you not see that too?
I did. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm trying to clarify is that's all over the island. It could be done all over. It's not just Sasua. It could be Puerto Plata. It could be Punta Cana. It could be anywhere there. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not just an area called Sasua. It's not.
Well, where I was in Sasua, that's what I saw. That's what I saw. And in fact, I don't recall seeing many American women there at all in Sasua.
Correct.
All right, let me get back.
And there's not a lot of American women in Santo Domingo.
I'm just saying, you know, let's not.
I agree.
Let's not pretend. Okay, so Moni, you said you were waiting on your answer. Where is your answer at? Let's see. I don't see a question from you. Oh, I mean, I don't know about people coming over there and back from the States and bringing back diseases. I guess that's possible, but I mean, I think the onus is on the person whose body it is to protect yourself. Protect yourself. You know, don't lay down with people you know nothing about, and even some of the people you know something about, they might give you something. So it's kind of a crapshoot, but it's on you to protect yourself. I mean, I would never trust somebody else to protect me. You know what I mean? So I hope that answers your question. All right, so let's see. Brother Don says, y'all know what she means. Y'all probably look at the magazine, Barely Legal. You see what I'm saying, Brother Don? Like, I don't care if y'all like it or not. One thing I despise is purposely silly. I despise that, like, because it's like when you do that, I'm saying you don't understand in general, when you like pretend that I said something that I didn't really say, it's being silly on purpose. And it's like, it's a time suck to do that. So exactly, Don, they know what the hell I'm talking about. They know. And like Notorious Hebrew said, barely legal. She's been legal for about an hour. Y'all know what the hell I mean. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but okay. So, and I hear what you're saying, but it's still legal, right? She's legal. She's of legal age. So, no.
Did I
Wait.
say
What I'm saying is, what I think they're asking is, why do you put the emphasis on barely legal rather than just saying legal or young women?
But
I don't know.
But I want y'all to point to the part where I said she was not legal. That's what I'm saying about the silliness. The silliness, because I never said that the women were, and I don't know if they were not legal. I'm saying I saw young girls. Every night I was there, I saw young girls sitting on the laps, sometimes in that bar we went to, of older dudes. I saw it myself. So point to the part where, because see, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start holding y'all feet to the fire with the silliness. Where did I say anybody was illegal? That's where y'all need to answer. The proof is on y'all, not me.
Well, I'm looking at the question. It seems to me, my interpretation of what they're asking is, why would you put the emphasis on barely legal? Why, wait, because it seems like they're saying you're inferring something different. That's what it seems.
One thing, listen, it ain't what you know, is what you can prove. I know what I said. Y'all know me long enough by now. I ain't got to infer nothing. I will never imply. I will always express. Always. I ain't got to try to do no riddles with y'all. Y'all heard what I said. And L Boogie says, it is sad state of affairs when Black men have to leave the country to date women. 10 years ago, things between Black men and women wasn't this bad. What do you and Donovan suggest be done? Well, as they say in the nation, settle down to a good choice, whatever that is. Settle down to a good choice. See, I'm one of those people. I believe that there are good Black men in the States. I'm not a divester or believe that I should try to go be with a white man or any of that other stuff. And I can't tell a Black man what to do, what his preference is. But I mean, the people who want to divest, because passport brothers are essentially divestors as well, where they want to divest from American women or American Black women. If you're a Black man and Black women the same, we can't tell them what to do. But I suggest that the Black people here in America that want to be together, that's what we should focus on. I mean, because honestly, right? Let's see. Let me skip down here. Because I know. Let's see. Don't ask me how you doing. He says it sounds. That sounds like another advantage for men. Okay. And remain confident. One, you say he's trying to educate her, but she's hard-headed. Respectfully, there's not a whole lot. Donovan can educate me on some things, but on this, he cannot educate me on. So I hope that was respectful enough. I know what I saw, and when I was in Sasua, I ain't crazy. I'm not an invalid. I know exactly what I saw. So I hope that helps. Let's see here. I'm gonna skip down. Rainey says, Demetri, Donovan don't know nothing about this prostitution business or where to get it. All
right. Okay. You're right though, Rain. You're right. I'm a square, so I wouldn't.
I'm gonna shut my mouth. Arson says Donovan did not discount what Demetri said. He is only adding to her point, not dismissing it. It's like saying it could also happen elsewhere. No real actual disagreement. Nah, Donovan think he's slick. He heard what I said. I said Sasua. I wasn't speaking about. I can't speak of stuff I have no knowledge of. I was never in anywhere else but a couple of places in Dominican Republic. So I can't speak of those things. I'm only speaking of the things that I am knowledgeable of, and I have first-hand experience of seeing myself. So that what he did there was to kind of, try to take steam. See, I'm a professional at argumentation and debate, baby. And what he tried to do was take steam out of what I was saying by doing a red herring and bringing up other stuff that I did not mention.
No. I'm gonna disagree. What I'm trying to do is say this: you're demeaning a country when that is legal all over. That is what I'm trying to say. You just can't say it's just in Sasua.
I saw.
And I just wait. We agree. I agree with everything you're saying. All I'm saying is it goes on all over the country. I'm not saying it takes any steam out of Sasua. It goes on all over the country. So you just can't say this particular area is where the track is. That's not true. It's all over the country.
Right. But that's not what I was saying, though. So.
But that's what you said. The track is in Sasua. You said that.
I said that the Sasua is a track. That's what I said.
Oh, now it's a track. You didn't say that.
Do you see the silliness? Do you see the silliness?
It is silly because you didn't say that. You said Sasua is a track.
Do you see the silliness?
It's not silliness.
It is silliness.
When we read back to you what you say, you don't like it because that isn't what you said.
No, brother. Nah. What you tried to do was hijack my point by saying that it's all over. And I'm saying that I'm speaking on what I saw and you took it somewhere else. That in debate is called a red herring. That's what you do. And that's what you did.
I disagree, but go ahead.
Of course. All right. And so let's see here. LS says, okay, I ain't going to read that, but y'all can read that. Brother Don says, if I live that life, that's where I would go. Stop playing. See, Brother Don, silliness. But we supposed to be stupid, though. And Brother Reggie, you say you understand what we're both saying. Rover man, how you doing? Let's see. He says, you're using shaming language. Black men are very aware of a dog whistle. I mean, if you want to see it as shaming language, you can. That's not my intentions, but if you want to see it that way, I can't tell you how to interpret it, but I know what I saw. They were very young. And don't ask me, says, what are our pickings? I don't know what that means. And Auntie Yo-Yo says, oh my gosh, she said what she said. People always trying to read something else into stuff. Barely is barely. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. The silliness of it all. It's like the nitpicking. So anyway, and Kiki says, I don't think very many brothers are leaving. I've seen more talking than actually leaving. Yeah. A lot of them ain't even got no blue book. Let's see here. William says, why whistle carefully? Some women do. Joanne says, I think he does. Donovan is not as smooth as he thinks. Remain confident. He says, be articulate and learn how to express precisely what you mean as to leave no room for misinterpretation. Never expect someone to understand what you are trying to say. It ain't my fault if you can't pick up what I put down, brother. It's not my fault. I said what I said and I was very clear. So I can't see, I can do my best to encode the message, but it's up to you to decode the message that I'm sending, right? Anyway, let's see here. Yes, y'all, please hit the like button. Dusty, you say, passport brothers get all this passive aggressive pushback. Please. Good measure, you says, Dimitri, just because you're not familiar doesn't discount what Donovan knows. See, again, you're being silly as well, because I never discounted what Donovan said. In fact, Donovan tried to discount what I said by bringing it.
Yeah, you did discount what I said. That's why I haven't said anything since. You did discount it. You did. Yes, you did.
We talking about me saying I've seen it in Sasua, and you brought up every nation under the world that has it, and I was like, I ain't been there. So how could I know that? That's what I said.
You still discounted what I said, but go ahead.
Nah, you jumped in and discounted what I said. We can rewind this back, brother. We can don't try to be the victim.
Continue.
Anyway, let's see. Notorious Hebrew says she said what she said. Speaking of what she said, what she saw, what she was. She said she was only in two areas. Like that's what I'm like. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. Who is it? You right, don't ask me. I got my gloves on because you know why? I'm one of those people. I'm very cool, calm, and collected. I can be, but I don't like people to try to lie on me, try to hijack stuff and throw red herrings and make up stuff I did not say. I'm not gonna let people do that to me because I think it's cheap. And if people do not know how to argue, and I'm not talking about argue, I'm talking about properly argumentation and debate, then I think they should stay out of that lane. But don't make up stuff. Don't lie to kick it. That's all I'm saying. All right. So let me get down to the bottom because I know y'all got a lot to say. Oh, okay. No, you don't. All right. Galvetta says barely legal when you become a legal adult, but are still not legal enough to do other things. Okay, so come on with the definition. And let's see here. Mona says if a man doesn't tell that woman that he was in another country 6 months ago, 9 months ago, and he's already been dating her, but went out of town for a month or better, he's not going to tell about an STD. Donovan froze up a little bit there. I mean, again, Moni, if you with somebody or you just got in a relationship with somebody, maybe y'all should go get some tests. Maybe y'all should go get some STD test or whatever. Make sure you good to go. before you get into bed, but that's never going to be on the other person to make sure that you don't get an STD. That's going to be on you. I mean, who loves you more, you or the other person? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's right that another person has something like that and they don't tell you, but that's up to you to protect you. That ain't up to them. I mean, I hope that helps. Remain confident. He said, there's no such thing as barely legal. Stop trying to create new meanings. Either you are legal or you're not. I said what I said. You can't tell me what to say. And let's see here. Okay, William, thank you so much for being here. Love and appreciate you for that. Don says, y'all being silly. Barely legal is an English colloquialism. Say that 20 times. Exactly. But, you know, again, it's silly season is what it is. Arson says, okay, now I see how Demetra interpreted it. You basically took it as a Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter situation. Laugh aloud, but I don't think he meant that all the way, though. I love you too. Yeah, I mean, and that's a good analogy. I was talking about in your analogy, Black Lives, and then he did do the All Lives Matter analogy. That's what it was. It's what we call a red herring to detract from what is actually being said. I mean, I know what I'm talking about in regards to that. Not all things. Remain confident. He says, Demetra loves to argue for no reason. Just got to have the last word. She would make a good wife to a deaf man. Well, first of all, boo, this is my show. I'm going to have the last word. Now, on your show, you can have the last word, but I'm going to have the last word on here. And again, if you want you a docile woman, then you go get that. But I'm never going to be that. Never. So, And Sun Kisser, how you doing? Says, been watching, trying to stay hush, but a misunderstanding is a misunderstanding. Work it out, family. Absolutely. And Notorious Hebrew says, you ain't got to lie to kick it, Craig. You ain't got to lie. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to lie either, you know? And Rain says, thank you, Demetra and Donovan. Love you both. Love you too. Robo Man, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. We will have a good night. It's all love. Good conversation always. And Rain says, stop trying to shut Demetra down. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm going to be nice. I ain't going to say what I want to say. But Bob, thank you for that. Yeah, Donovan, he froze up. Hopefully he'll come back. I don't know. Only Pamela, the way he says, you know who is missing from the conversation, and it's Sunlight. She hasn't been on. Yeah, no. I'm actually have to call her and make sure she's all right. I haven't seen her on Twitter either. I usually see her there. Good Measure says, and this is why marriage conversation is where it's at. Nah, I see with that analogy, that almost says that the woman has no say so. It's a conversation. It's not, see, the way you're looking at it is a man should be talking at a woman, but a conversation, communication is we are speaking with each other. It's not you as a man or a woman barking orders at another person. First of all, I'm a fully grown woman. I don't need nobody barking nothing at me. If you want to have a conversation with me, we can have a conversation. And y'all, for some reason, are under the impression that if a woman disagrees, that she is being combative. But do you know that her as being a fully grown adult, that is her right to disagree if she wants to? She does not have to acquiesce to anything that you as a man are saying. Now, she grants you that privilege as her man to do that. But as far as you thinking that you could subjugate that woman because you got a couple of extra things dangling between your legs, you are sorely misinformed. I hate to break it to you, but it is what it is. I will, Notorious Hebrew. I will. Donovan, I think he's trying to come back there. All right, so let's see here. We're going to get out here. We're going over time a little bit, but I'll let y'all want to come on and speak your piece or whatever. Joanne says a lioness is not docile. You know what I'm saying? And Donovan, he likes to evoke that of nature, how men and humans are like nature. The lioness, you think she the lioness is sent out there to hunt so the family can eat. You think she gonna be doing that? Is she docile and she weak and she, don't have a backbone? No, that's not the case. See, y'all want spineless women. Y'all want women that won't rock the boat, or as my dad says, hold you accountable. Y'all consider that nagging. A woman holds you accountable. But as my father of 70, almost 79 years old says, a woman worth her weight is going to put some expectations on her man. and hold him accountable. Not in a nagging way, but see, you gentlemen out there in the internet and this manosphere, y'all have been misled in thinking that a woman should not have any voice. That's not how it works. And those of y'all who know anything about the Nation of Islam know that RIP Dr. Ava Muhammad was Farrakhan's most staunchest defender in the nation, and she was his national spokeswoman for him. So Farrakhan even does not abide by the ideology that y'all are teaching, that a woman should have nothing to say. Y'all need to re-educate yourself. I'm just saying. Donovan, yeah, his internet, I think, went out. He'll come back. There you go. And Only Pamela's Way says, tell him, Sister Demetra, this is the Demetra K show. That, you know what I'm saying? And Good Measure says, no, I'm saying not willing to listen and getting hostile. Sister or brother, whatever you are, you got flowers, or I don't know what you are. If you think that I am hostile, then you need to rearrange your understanding. I am passionate, but baby, never hostile. Never. I just want to put that out there. Brother Don says, let's be clear here. This is not a space where any man is going to try and bully the host. I'm not having it. Tell them again. You know what I'm saying? I love and appreciate you for that. Kiki says, well, I mean, I have to be transparent about the STD thing. All you can do is hope that the person you're with is faithful and honest. In my career, I saw sisters who were married find out that they have an STD or even an HIV. One was when her husband was lying there succumbing to pneumonia from AIDS, and all you can do is hope your partner is honest. Yeah, especially if you're married, that's all you can do on either side. But if you're venturing on to a new relationship, yeah, get a test and make sure, you know, at least at that point that everybody's good, right? I would think. Remain confident says a conversation caters to a love language. I can dig it. I dig it. And Marnie says, I think if women start obeying the Bible, stop having illegitimate children, and you're not married to these men, you have more of a better leverage to command what it is you want. Let's be clear. I totally agree. I think we should be married and stop having children out of wedlock. Yeah, Donna is having an internet issue, unfortunately. Money, you sent me some videos. I have to check it out. Kiki says, they know what you mean. How about this? Think about their daughters as barely legal. Now, see, now you're going too far, sister. And see what they come up with. Men always see things differently when it's their baby girls. Yeah, your daughter was 20, 21 out there in Sasua being devoured by grown old dudes. You would definitely have you would understand what I was saying. So I thank you for that, Kiki, because it's like, that's why I said the silliness, right? Good Measure says a lioness works with the pride, i.e. other females. That is true. All right. What's your point? Spicy P says getting banned by the Informed for saying I miss Trump is a problem. I didn't ban you. I mean, that's your opinion, and it's your right if you miss Trump. I'm not mad if you miss Trump. There's a lot of people that miss Trump. That's your right to do that. Good Measure says a lioness works with the pride other females. That's her choice. I guess, you know, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of things lioness do. Joanne says the lioness can't be pushed too far, even with the lion. Even with the lion when it comes to the cubs. Exactly. She has a voice. She's not just whatever you say. The lion has got some say so too. But again, y'all, not all y'all, man. I'm not saying all the ones that think that the women should just be sitting in the corner. And then when you push the damn button or ring the bell, she's supposed to come jiggling and wiggling and giggling, talking about what is it that you want? Nah, she's supposed to say, honey, do you think there's another way we can do that? I like what you're saying, baby, but how about this idea? Like, men are supposed to be open to it. It's what I say, and that's it. I mean, because for one thing, a woman, she'll stick around for a little bit, but a woman worth her weight gonna be like, yeah, I ain't signing up for this. I'm going to head on out. You know what I mean? And Brother Don says, Donovan and Demetra have a relationship that you don't get it twisted. Yeah, me and Donovan, we're going to argue like cats and dogs, but that's my boy. I get him up over Donovan. He'll tell you that. And Remain Confident says, Ayala Van Zandt has a voice, but she knows how to say it. Well, I mean, everybody has to each his own, you know. Ayala Van Zandt can say how she want. I'm saying how I want. I'm not Ayala and she ain't Demetra. So I really hope that helps. And Good Measure says, why I gotta be a baby? Well, Okay, so you're a woman. I didn't know. Well, all right, sister, how you doing? And Spicy P says Clinton's and Obama did more to destroy the U.S. blacks than anyone in the whole world. Okay. You say StreamYard is acting up. I think I'm good on this end, but who's to say, right? DDD, how are you doing? It says, how about a true woman, honest and faithful? I can dig it. I can dig it. Remain confident. He says, please stop with the microaggression. You can agree to disagree. You can't tell me what to do. If I disagree to agree, you cannot tell me what to do. You do not have any autonomy over me at all. And I say that in love, but I want y'all to understand all you can do is control you. You can't tell me what to do. Your woman or your man or whoever you are, because it's hard to see with just a letter. Your woman or your man, you could try to have autonomy over them. If they allow you to do that, that's great, but you cannot have autonomy over me. I have autonomy over me. I hope that helps. Yes, Notorious Hebrew delusional. In fact, my feeling says, no, I prefer the jiggling. Hey, listen, if you do it right, you play your cards right, you can get a woman that jiggles and wiggles and giggles. But do you want your woman to have some sense? I think jiggling and wiggling and giggling is fun. But I ain't going to just be doing just that. It's more to me than that. And I don't impress upon any woman to dumb yourself down to get a man. If that man will be with you because you are dumb in his opinion, that ain't the man for you. Be with a man that would allow you, and not that he could allow you, but is open to you expressing your opinion. I ain't talking about nagging and all of that other stuff, but I'm talking about a man that is open to have a discussion with you, not because he's a man that he should be barking orders at you and you scared to have an opinion on. Don't be with a man like that. Be with a man that's like, baby, your opinion is valuable to me too. That's all I'm saying. So whatever. And let's see here. Brother Reggie says, ain't nothing wrong with a little jiggling. I totally agree with you. And Kiki says, I don't disagree that we should be having kids and being married. I just don't understand why that trope is constantly only put on a woman, as if women impregnate themselves. Men control marriage, as men always say. So shouldn't they be getting the get married before baby sermon that we're always being preached to? You would think, but not so much, right?
Oh, man.
We're going to try this again.
Yeah.
There we go. There you go. Joanne says, male and female, he created them. Each have no hold on each other, meaning work together, not overlord each other. Exactly. Like you don't have autonomy over your woman. Yes, you are the head of the household, but you still need to treat her with respect. She still has a say-so over what goes on with her. I don't know how that has gotten misconstrued lately, I guess within the last 20, 30 years or whatever, but you're not the ruler over that woman. You're not. It's crazy to me. And Wilbur, if I didn't already, how you doing? He says, if things don't work out between my wife and I would never date again. Social media has made everyone crazy and feel like things that are wrong are right. I totally agree with you. Trust me. I know. Don't Ask Me says, I guess that's why they go overseas. And again, I mean, that is their choice to do that. And let's see here. Facts and our feelings, you crazy. I'm reading your comment, Brother Don. Joanne says, totally agree with you, Demetri. I was a whole human being before they met me in my own person, but together we become one. So much more. Exactly. I'm telling you, it's silly season out there in these streets. And I'm not saying all men. I'm just saying some of the men, yes, some of the women got skewed ideas of what a relationship is. I was raised in a household where I saw that work. And I never witnessed my dad tell my mom, be quiet, shut up. I'm the man of the household. Your opinion is not valuable. I never saw that. And so the stuff that I'm hearing now is like, and people wonder why a lot of women don't want to get married. Like, I don't want to marry into that. And I'm not saying that women are perfect, but I'm saying as far as a lot of some of the men out there and the things that they think they should be able to do to women is like, we're not in the caveman days no more. I'm just saying. DDD says a true woman will always have a powerful influence. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Exactly. And El Boogie says, we have to work together. Why can't black men and women work together? I want a woman that I could talk to and has an opinion. Yeah. And I want to be with somebody who wants to receive that. And I'm able to listen to them. But that all, I'm the man, it's the highway, my way or the highway. Nah, hit the highway then or whatever. Gilberto says, on all the live chats, we never had anyone disrespect Demetra. This is absolutely crazy. Yeah, you're going to have some people who, for whatever reason, they have very strong opinions. But guess what? I sleep very well at night because I don't take any of that personally. I tell people all the time, you're going to be on this thing. You got to have a tough skin. And when you click off of here, you go about your business. You don't inculcate any of it, right? You try not to. Money says, love you guys both, Dimitri. When this fully will be live Tuesday. We haven't decided to go live on Tuesday just yet. Donovan and I do the podcast by ourselves, but maybe one day we'll go, but definitely Wednesday. Only Pamela's Way says some of these folks are backwards. Everyone should have a voice, and men and women can disagree on subject and still be in love with each other. Absolutely. But what we do now is if a person disagrees, we try to put these labels on them. Oh, you masculine. Oh, you a feminist. Oh, you this. It's like, nah, I just simply disagree with you. Why do you need to label me? You know what I mean? Gilberto says, thank you, Demetra and Donovan. Saadiq, we don't always agree with everything you two say. However, the majority of us will never disrespect someone's own opinion on a view, and that's what it's about. We should be able to agree to disagree respectfully. I just would think, right? And Notorious Hebrew says, exactly, they want you to sign up to be oppressed. Never that. I would not willingly ever do that, ever. And Kiki says, brothers that use the Bible to preach our place as women, says, as women need to stop cherry picking and read it all. The same Bible also says the prayers of a man who mistreats a woman won't be heard. God never said women are to be mistreated. Get it right, brothers. Absolutely. And there was plenty of women leaders in the Bible that men listened to. Deborah, didn't she lead a whole army? She's a woman. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know yet, Moni, if it'll be live. But anyway, I don't see any more comments. Donovan, unfortunately, is freezing up. He's having some issues. In California, they have a very bad weather, unprecedented weather, if you will. It's raining, it's flooding, boulders are falling, the ground is sinking in and all of that. But, as Farrakhan always says, watch the weather. That is odd and bizarre to be going on in California like that. And so, major prayers to them as they're having it pretty rough. Brother Don says, that's right. People don't know how to debate instead of label. Yeah, why do we need to label each other? We just don't agree, right? Marnie says, I'm celibate and I'm waiting till I get married. I've already been married this year. Would be 21 years. However, I've been separated. I go by the Bible. I'm not about to fornicate with no man. I'm not going to hell. I agree with you. I don't believe in sharing myself just haphazardly with anybody either. But I'm not knocking anybody who does. But I agree with you that it's not something I want to do. And Rex, how you doing? Says, just sending along some love, dear Demetra. Thank you so much. And long time no see. Joanne says, men don't know what a true virtuous woman is. They think scouring like a dog beneath them is what they want. We want strong and feminine. We are strong and feminine. I'm sorry, loving nurses, teachers, builders, and your wife and other half. Exactly. There's so much more to a woman than just body parts and the service that she can render you, right? There's more to a woman. A woman, as they say in the nation, she's a scientist in the kitchen. She has the ability to heal or kill you by what she puts on your plate. You want a woman that has sense enough to cook you the right foods, don't you? I mean, since you want a traditional woman, or you want her to be putting some top ramen on your plate every day, So there's more to a woman than just taking orders from a man. And Gilberto says, Demetra K, we're getting over a tornado from Thursday. And where are you at, sister, in the country, if you don't mind me asking? I forget, a tornado. Brother Samuel, how are you doing? It says, y'all, you all should go to Savior's Day this year. You know what? I want to go to Savior's Day. However, I think it conflicts with plans that I have already. I'll be out of the state, but I want to go to Savior's Day for whatever reason. If it doesn't happen, I will be at Savior's Day. I'd love to take my dad. Only Pamela's Way. He says, what? I'm going to check out the weather in Cali. Yeah, they're getting it bad. Facts Not Feeling says, I treat my woman with the utmost love and respect. We can have intellectual debates, but as a man, I need for her to understand there are times when she needs to be quiet and jiggle. I mean, I get it. I don't have a problem with that, but I guess. Don't ask me. It says not today. And yes, y'all, if y'all could please like and subscribe and all that, I love and appreciate you. So Georgia, Gavetta here in Georgia, tornado. Oh, wow. That is crazy. This weather is crazy everywhere. And here in Texas, Houston, it's hot one day, like literally hot, and then the next is freezing, right? So today is kind of like 75 degrees. Tomorrow will probably be 75. And the next day it'll be 59. So it's like put on your big coat, put on your booty shorts. I don't know. Stanley, you're saying 100. Don says, yes, the weather is crazy here, but the north and the south are different. Yes, indeed. In fact, my feeling says, laugh out loud. There is no doubt. I'm sorry. It says, laugh out loud is no. There is no but Demetra. Okay. So Moni saying we're going to have to go live. I mean, we'll try, we'll try. But anyway, yes, harp. I've heard about harp, Brother Don. I have. Anyway, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go. It's almost 3 hours. It's got to be a record. Jason says classic H-Town weather, but more warm days than cold. Yes, give me some cold days. I like cold days. I like to dress up in my jeans, my boots, my sweaters. I like that. But Houston won't let us be great. DDD says a woman should be two things: who and what she wants. You better say that. You better say that. Joanne says, yes, we've had rain for the last 4 weeks in California. More. You remember, when I left California, it was a drought, and now y'all got floods. It's crazy, right? L Boogie, yes, love to you as well. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna let y'all go enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm gonna go twist my afro up. I got to be up very early in the morning, but I love and appreciate all of y'all. Those of y'all that disagree and all of the above, it's been real. I will see y'all later on Wealth Wednesdays with Walters. We will be live. Peace.